Do I have to be enthusiastic?
You have your energy drink ready?
Yeah, but it tastes weird because I haven't drank it in a week.
Welcome to the official, unofficial Sea of Thieves podcast, a podcast dedicated to Sea of Thieves and other rare games, but mainly Sea of Thieves. Today, we are discussing the latest update, Ashen Winds, that released past Wednesday, the 29th of July. We will go over all the new additions, like the Ashen Lords and the Ashen Winds Skull, but we also discuss all the other additions. Some of them are a bit controversial, like the removing of wall banging, but hey, luckily I have a wonderful guest to help me out with these matters.
It is me, UNIBALL.
Some of you listeners might be maybe expecting Old Buccaneer,
Sorry.
but he was having some, yeah, I know, kind of disappointed myself, but gotta roll with the punches, right? That's a joke. I'm actually really grateful you're here, and that you were able to do this on such a short notice as well. Old Buccaneer was, originally planned to get on, but he's a busy guy, and he didn't have, well, the opportunity to play the update, so Uniball is here because he did. And as always, before we dive deep into the update discussion, we'll go over some news first. And we have some big news, well, potentially big. It's probably already known once it's released on YouTube, there's a podcast, but hey, for us, it's still news. There's a counter on the website of Sea of Thieves, and it counts down to the 4th of August. And on this day, it's the 2nd of August, so really close. If you go to the page, you see a silhouette of a bird or a griffin, but that's it. So what do you think this countdown counts down to?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Well, I know the
anniversary.
Answer, but yeah, indeed. So first I was thinking like what game released on the 4th of August, and that was Rare Replay 5 years ago. But when you look closely to the figurehead, you see some Roman numerals. It's XXXV. I don't even know if you pronounce it that way, but either way it translates to 35. Which makes sense because Rare will be 35 years old in August. So, hey, that's nice. The company was founded in 1985, so only slightly older than I am. So, what do you think we'll get on the anniversary?
I have a feeling it's going to be a figurehead.
Yeah. So do you think that's going to be it? Just a figurehead and everybody gets it, or do we need to pay for it, or it's a present?
No. You're going to have to catch 1,000 ruby splashtails. And you'll get the figurehead and some sails.
Oh, sails, really? You think we'll get some sails?
No, maybe just the figurehead.
I
originally thought it was for 15 million because when I was looking at it on the phone, since the picture, obviously the picture is smaller on the phone, I guess I was only paying attention to the X and the V. So I was thinking 15, and I thought it was a shout out to their 15 million peoples.
What's the 15 million for listeners? What do you mean with the number?
Oh, Rare just said that they had a 15 million milestone of players playing the game.
Aye, that's true. Do you think that number is accurate, or how did you think they come by that number?
The number is accurate, but is it for concurrent players? Yeah. I mean, it's for people who logged into the game.
Yes, as soon as you logged in, you're one of those numbers. That's how I feel. It's a really high number.
It is.
It increased a lot, by the way, past Steam. Like a lot of people said it didn't. Like just a small group of Steam players came to Sea of Thieves.
No, there's at least a million.
Yeah, so Steam really had some impact on the game. I don't know if those people are still playing, but yeah, it's good that it's still active, this game.
Yeah, they are. I ran across some players recently who were all a handful of them were Steam players.
Yeah, that's my feeling too. Like I've met a lot of people who are really accurate with their weapons, but they suck at everything else. So I'm like, oh yeah, you're a Steam player. That's how you recognize them. But to get back to the 35-year anniversary, so you think sales and figurehead and that's it, or something more like a quest?
I would hope there would be more, but I think you're gonna have to earn it in a certain way.
I myself think that it's going to be in the Emporium, and that you can buy it for free in August.
Oh,
and
you
then
think
next
so?
month,
That'll just
yeah,
be a
next
bit
month you need to
okay.
pay for it. Yeah, that's how I'm
Kind
thinking.
of like the original Banjo Kazooie was. What was it? 1,000 gold or how many? How much was it?
1998 coins.
Yeah.
Golden coins, because that's the year it released. So maybe it's going to be 1985 coins for this figurehead, since Rare was founded in 1985.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
That would be cool though. So we
All,
wouldn't have to cap.
well, yeah, it would be
Get
cool.
1,000 rupees
But
splashed.
not 1985 ancient coins. I hope not.
No, they wouldn't do that.
But no, they won't. Yeah, maybe just gold. Maybe we'll see. But certainly a present. Hopefully, it's an entire ship. That would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Maybe they announced that they're working on Banjo-Kazooie 3. That would also be cool. But I don't think so. So yeah. So let's go to the next bit of news, and we'll keep it Rare related, because CFT's podcast. A new Everwild trailer released. It was actually released during the Xbox Game Showcase. So have you watched it?
Yeah.
You like it?
Oh yeah, I thought it was visually very pleasing, but mentally confusing.
Why was it confusing?
Because we just really don't know what the game's about.
They called it the Eternals trailer, and Rare confirmed that the human characters in the game are called Eternals. So that could be a hint.
Oh, so you play as the animals? Wow.
No, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, huh? The Eternals, they're like the game masters, and then you're the little animal.
And
then you poop them, and then you grow more forest, and it's ever wild.
I'm just thinking like you're just some druids or some people that have like a spiritual connection to the nature world, and just you just help them on quests. And you saw it in the trailer too, like that deer was being hurt, and then
and they saved
hurt it with a T, RT, and then
or they like resurrected, or they healed it.
Yeah, healed it. And I think that's what the game's going to be, just help animals in need to survive, which I usually don't really like, because we're helping nature, well, you're not helping nature, because in nature that deer would have been eaten by a wolf, and that's also nature. So you're not really helping nature, you're helping the deer, you're not helping nature. But oh well, it's it's a video game, so I want to help the deer. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame that we don't see gameplay, but I do like the design of the animals.
Yeah, the animation is really cool. Just everything is visually pleasing. It just looks really cool.
I like that you say animation instead of design, because they're animated really well in the trailer too. And the executive producer, my developer crush, Louise O'Connor, she used to be head of animation, and she started as an animator at Rare. So you can definitely feel her touch in the trailer. But sadly, no gameplay, man. Give it.
Sucks.
I think it's still a really long way to release.
Maybe so. Maybe they still haven't even hashed out how the game's gonna be completely.
Maybe it changed a lot since the previous trailer. Like the Eternals look different.
Yeah, it seems,
and even the world looks
intense,
a bit. Yeah.
Not as,
which is good. I'm
cartoony.
I'm
It just seemed more serious.
Yes, indeed. And they also show no weapons, like the Eternals themselves. They carry no weapons at all. No, maybe a stick here and there. I don't know. Can't remember anymore. So I don't think, like a lot of people think, like it's like constructing weapons and hunting and gathering, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's just plainly helping animals and helping nature.
Do you think it's going to be a multiplayer game?
I don't know. I don't hope so.
You don't hope so?
Yeah, because I have Sea of Thieves, right?
Yeah.
And I also play Borderlands still, and those are my multiplayer games.
So for you personally, it should not be.
For me personally, I don't want a multiplayer game. I just want to chill out, zone out, get
for the rest of the world,
so I don't need to embarrass other people.
Well, maybe they'll build a thing where they'll have both, a single player and a multiplayer.
Yeah, but I don't know. Either make it dedicated, right? Like, I don't no, don't half-ass it. Either make a beautiful single player, or make a beautiful multiplayer experience. Don't try to
Yeah,
do both.
yeah, for me personally, I can't play single player games much anymore.
You need the feeling that you have friends.
I guess. No, but that's the thing. I need to. I think the feeling of competing against people. So like, it's not like it's not the social interaction that I'm getting from these multiplayer games. It's just me knowing that I'm competing against a real person instead of a computer. So like, I mean,
All right.
I'll play. I play Battlefield, and like I don't. I rarely play. Like the only person I played Battlefield with was one of my former coworkers. Other than that, I would play by myself and play multiplayer. And I liked, I guess, competing, knowing that it just wasn't an AI thing that's on a set path and set whatever in front of me.
Yeah. So you want to save more deers than the other person in Everworld?
Yeah.
See who can save the most deers.
Yeah.
I know. I just want a good story in a beautiful game. I mean, the world looks beautiful. I want to dive in there. I want to, just rub my face into the world. Looks amazing. That's really beautiful design. It looks natural and mystical and whimsical, and I really like the style. It's like Breath of the Wild, only even more detailed, and I really like that style. All right.
No, it looks cool. I'm really excited to see more about it.
Cool. So that was just one game of the Xbox showcase. Like really quickly, like it's a rare podcast, like CFT/rare podcast. This one. So, but they also showed other Xbox games in that showcase. Anything else you got excited for?
Battletoads?
No. Battletoads didn't show. No,
I didn't watch the Xbox showcase, so I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll just go quickly over it then. Because they released a trailer for State of Decay 3. I really like the first one. Didn't play the second one, but I really like that they continue with the franchise. There's also a State of Decay ship in Sea of Thieves. So they're making part 3 of the game. Really sweet, but we only saw a trailer. There were some story games. One of them was As Dusk Falls. Looked kind of interesting, but again, no gameplay. They show Grounded again, which you can actually play and test out right now on Game Pass. You like Honey String to Kiss, survive the game, looks interesting. And they showed, of course, Halo, which had a lot of people riling on the internet because it looked not that great. That wasn't. So it is supposed to be their flagship for the new console, but
Halo is.
Yeah.
They should let Halo die, in my opinion. No offense. I'm sorry to everybody.
Yeah, I played almost all of them, but I don't know why. I always played them and try to figure out why people love it so much. And I appreciate what it done, what it has done for first person genre, but I just don't get into the game itself. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Halo, and then playing in LAN parties with my friends, and Halo 2. And I've played all the way through 5, just for that nostalgic, just playing Halo. But it just nothing to me. Nothing is, and obviously that's incorrect statement to say nothing has changed. Obviously, multiple things have changed in the game, but it just doesn't feel like, I don't know, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It feels like the first Halo, and it's just a little bit the
feels
same.
like it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, which can be good. Like I'm guessing a lot of people like it because it feels, it feels and looks like the first Halo. So that's nice. Even I got a little nostalgic about it, and I really don't like the Halo all that much. But yeah, I feel like it's kind of done. The franchise
and it feels like it's just disappointing people too. Like every new iteration, and I don't know about all of them, but like, a lot of people, I don't know, maybe
kind of like since Bungie left, right?
Yeah.
Since they're not doing it anymore. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not gonna go. Like, I don't want to go into, because I'm not, big in, so I don't have that much to say about it. That's just my own personal opinion.
And we'll stray. We don't want to stray too much away from rare games. So speaking about rare games, let's make this segue now. A few moments after, I think maybe a week and a half, Rare themselves released their Battletoads release date trailer. So to give some context, Battletoads is a franchise of Rare. The first game was on the NES, and I think the last game they made of Battletoads was, I think the arcade, no, the SNES version, I think. So it's been a while. They appeared in other games as well as guest characters, but not their own game anymore. So it is a beat 'em up. You play as three toads and you smash baddies, and it's a 3-player couch co-op game. So what do you think of this trailer?
Well, to me, I mean, it's cool because it's bringing back. I don't know. Now I'm kind of going against the whole thing because I just dogged Halo for being the same for over 20 years. But it's neat to go to these old, like super old school games, like these platformers, side scrolling. So it's kind of neat. I guess there's maybe, as an audience, you're hoping for them to update it a little bit more, but it's just kind of, it feels super old, but I guess that's part of the appeal as well.
Oh wow, I don't think it feels super old. I think they updated for a new audience.
You think?
Battletoads. Yeah,
Well,
I
maybe
think
it's
so.
just me, just because of the whole the gameplay, the platformer. This is just the old school arcades.
So. Oh, the 2D beat 'em up style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of old school. Yeah, but you still have it isn't a genre that died out, right? Like the 3D platformer, that one died a little bit out. You still see some 3D platformers here and there, but like the 2D beat 'em up, that never got away, right? Maybe during the N64 era, but there are quite some beat 'em up games.
Yeah, there are.
Aren't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it still just feels old to me.
All right, gotcha. It's an old franchise, yeah. But what do you feel about all the controversy around this game? Because that trailer has a lot of dislikes.
I don't know. So I don't know why people are so upset about it.
All right, well, I can explain a little bit. Because Battletoads never changed their visual style. It always had this kind of crossover style between Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Biker Mice from Mars. I don't know if you know that show, but if you mix those two together, you have the style of Battletoads. So it says this anthropomorphic animals. Well, of course they are, and there's also a heavy metal style to it, right?
Yeah.
And you have this bad guy, and she's the dark evil queen, and she's like dressed, I think, in leather or like a very short black dress, and you can see all the right curves.
Jesus.
Very. They had a blast designing her, I think, but she's not. She doesn't look like that anymore. She looks more like a girl now, and she's completely covered, no skin shown anymore. No, but no, I'm just explaining how
so all the
style is
perverts
different.
disliked it.
Yes, all the perverts disliked it, but no, that was the style of Battletoads, right? Really, rough around the edges,
Yeah.
but just have like you're watching a heavy metal cartoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now
it looks like Puff Girls.
Yeah, now it looks like Powerpuff Girls. Like,
Yeah.
and every, that style with the thick lines, like all the cartoons, like the millennials are watching right now. So cartoons have changed over time, and now they use like really thick lines.
Yeah.
And Battletoads has adopted this new cartoony style, and people just don't like it because it strays away so much from the original style, and that's a controversy around it.
The thicker lines is what is needed in animation. It really is.
It helps animation, that's true.
Yeah, that's why people have moved to that, because it brings more depth to the characters, and it makes them pop more, So I guess why people would be upset, because if the animation changed and if they quit showing all the lady bits.
Yeah, so the thing is, you alienate a lot of your older friends by doing this, because a lot of people were waiting for a new Battletoads game, right? Because it's been so long and now we finally have one, and it is co-produced by Rare and Delilah Studios. So yeah, people were hoping for a through sequel, but they don't really get that. They kind of get this weird reboot. I get it, by the way. Like I've played almost all the older Battletoads game. I have them all. all the cartridges. I've played them all. I've never beaten a single one of them too, because they are pretty hard. And I'm not really a beat 'em up guy, but I am a rare guy. So,
That
and I
is,
don't really
you are rare.
mind. No, I don't really mind because if you didn't update it, you would only attract the older generation. And with
True.
this new style, you kind of have the opportunity to
A
get
new
newer
wind, a new
players
crowd.
interested in an existing franchise.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't mind that much. Me personally, I'm not that upset about it.
Mhm.
The most important part is always the gameplay, and to be fair, the gameplay looks fun. It looks fun.
Yeah, and if it's, I'll definitely play it when it's out on
And when does it release?
soon.
This month.
August
It's gonna
4th.
release this month. No, the release is August 20th, so there's this month, a bit
Okay.
later this month. It's on Game Pass, so if for the people who have Game Pass, hey, you don't even need to pay for it. You get it when it releases. I'm definitely gonna play it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy Game Pass, but I'm definitely gonna play Battletoads game. Are you gonna buy it? Are you gonna play it?
Yeah, I'll definitely play it. Just check it out and then see, how it is compared to the game back in the day.
Aye,
For
nice.
sure. So
Aye, and for everybody listening, hey, let us know. I want to know your thoughts about this game too. But you know what the most exciting part about this is? The release of Battletoads?
no.
There's a barn empty again. So for the people who don't know, Rare is located in the UK, and their studio consists of 4 development teams, and they're each working from a barn. So on their campus, they have 4 barns, and one of the barns is Sea of Thieves, obviously. The other barn is Everwild, obviously. The third barn is Battletoads, and the fourth barn, we don't know what they're doing right there. So now the third barn, the Battletoads barn, is empty. So after Battletoads, they're going to work on another rare IP. Like it could be a new one, could be an old one. So we get more rare games. So that excites me. So hopefully they'll revive another one of their old franchises. That will be really sweet. Don't think they will do it, but would be nice to see some of those old characters turn up again.
Yeah, for sure. But they should have some people in that barn. They need a support team to support the.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Like the skeleton crew will be left behind to.
You always need a support team after.
They need to suppress all the haters of the new game.
Silence them on YouTube.
Silence them. All right. So anything else you want to say about Battletoads or Everwild or the barns or anything like that?
No, I'm just looking forward to learning more what Everwild is.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, give us gameplay, Louise, and I know, please, Louise, give us some gameplay.
Give us gameplay, and can I get an autograph photograph too, please?
Can you lipstick it and make a kiss on it?
Oh my god!
And she was in the Xbox Game Showcase too, right?
Oh, she was.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess because she's doing.
My heart
Everwild.
skipped a beat when I saw her.
Oh my god!
All right.
Is she married?
So, yeah, she has kids too.
Okay, good.
Yeah, like it's a non-romantic crush, right? I just
that's the worst
appreciate
kind.
her. Oh, God. All right, I think we need to go to our next subject. I think we kept the listeners waiting long enough. So let's dive into the update proper. So before we go over each aspect of this update, can you tell us how you feel about this update overall?
Overall, I mean, I like all the updates that they come out with. I mean, there's no real dislike just because I like Sea of Thieves. So yeah, I do like this update. I do like the visuals. That's basically it. No, and then I like the stuff they added in the Emporium.
I like too. I'm having a blast with this update. I really like that. Like we have more world events. We have 4 now.
Well, I have a bone to pick about that too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I actually really like it because you start the game and then you can go. There's always a world event, and I still need to get my accommodations for, the ghost ships. So if the ghost ships are, we'll do the ghost ships, and otherwise I'll do National Lord. And once you finish with that, there's maybe a Skull Fort. Why not? I feel like Skull Fort because we've just done National Lord. So I really like how the game is now. So that's the most exciting part about this update, that it feels more varied and there's always a world event that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a bone to pick with that, you said.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell us now.
Oh, it just seems oversaturated. Like there's too many world events now. It's like when you, so let's just say I'm focused, like I want to do all the skeleton captain skulls because I haven't finished that one yet. Now I have to cycle through multiple world events before I can get to it, or server hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to.
I did server hop in the beginning because I wanted to get my update review out there. So I solely did Ashen Lord events to form my opinion.
Exactly. So like when you're focusing on a goal to finish something, because let's just say you do all the other ones, you have to cycle through events to get to the one if you want to stay on the same server. And the problem with these events, which I believe the events are on obviously they're on a timer, how long they're going to last. And how does that timer get reset? Does it get reset when an object in the event is touched by a player? Because the skeleton ship cloud, not the Flameheart event, this is the original Curse Sales event, stays up the longest. And I believe it's due to that event being touched and the timer gets reset. And since they moved that event to more central locations on the map, they're getting touched more often and not being fought. So they're staying up in the air forever.
That's true.
And so then you're forced to server hop or forced to do that.
Yeah.
They should kept
like
it in the corners.
I don't mind. Like, all right, let's do the skeleton fleets then, and off that we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, but you you sail with crews. Like I'm by myself a lot of times.
Yes.
I'm solo.
Yeah, well, just
get
friends, right? It's not a solo game.
Well, I'm making it a solo game.
I get it for the solo. I get it for the solo players, but that's another topic, and we can address it right now. Because for solo players, this new event is not that. It's pretty hard.
It's difficult.
It's pretty long.
So
yeah, so you don't even want to do this solo.
I mean, I do, but the problem, it's so long, and so I've said this a lot in older videos that I've done that the number one thing in this game is situational awareness, and when you're in this particular event, you just lose all things going around harder. You. So you can't, I don't know. And it feels like, I don't know how much we can talk about insiders. Like it's probably not a lot.
Not at all.
Yes. So
sorry about that. Not at all.
Yeah. But it just feels very difficult for solo.
Yeah. No, you're right. This update is not catered to solo players at all. And I get where you're coming from because you play a lot of solo. All Buccaneer plays lots of solo. I don't. I hardly play solo. If I play solo, I usually go fishing while I'm listening to podcasts. That's the only time I play solo because it's a social game, right? It's like 10 times more fun if you've got a crew. Yeah, it is.
Well, yeah, but it's also super challenging solo, and that's another aspect of it.
Yes.
Like the other day, before we played the other day, I went up against 3 galleons by myself who were in an alliance, and I just went at them, and just cause for the challenge, and just because I had to, because I hadn't played in a while, so I was trying to get my get back in the groove.
I get it.
But yeah, but that's fun for me. Like, to go against them and to be a pet. I mean, granted, they beat me up. It's hard to fight 12 people at one time with one boat. I almost sank one of them, but then I ran into a glitch.
Oh.
With my menu option. I had to take a mermaid to get the glitch away. I was stuck in the menu.
All right, sucks.
Yeah.
But let's not go off topic. Anything else we want to say about this update overall
No, visually
before we
looks
dive
it's
deep into it?
awesome.
Yeah, they did a good job.
The changes that they made in PvP are, we just discuss that later. But yeah, I mean, I do enjoy it. I do believe, yeah.
Me too. There's some missed opportunities, but I'll get into that when we'll discuss the subjects. So, what are your thoughts on this update being delayed again? Because they
I mean, it just has.
they
I
had
mean,
to
that's
delay
just
it a
part of life.
week. Yeah, no, it is.
I mean, it's just
it kind of messes up my playing too, right? Because I'm
they don't
I'm
give
working during the day.
They don't give a duty pie about your playing.
I know, but I'm a content creator on YouTube, and those update reviews they're really stressful for me to do because I need to get a script, form an opinion, edit all that shit, and they're heavily edited too, as soon as possible too, because all the other content creators they're partners and they get their clips from Rare and they can edit before the update comes out. I cannot do that. I only can edit after the update came out, so I'm already behind. Need to do the voiceover, all the effects, and blah, 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 blah. You know how it goes. You know how everything goes. Nothing to explain to you. But so it's really stressful because I need to get it out on time, but also not too soon because I need to play it.
Yeah.
And really get a feel about this new update. So it's pretty stressful, and I plan for that by doing all right. I have work, and after work I can do that, and I have no extra work. I've got no deadlines for my job and stuff like that. And my dad's coming to visit, but he can visit till about 4 because then the update is online. And I'm planning all that stuff, and then everything is fixed. I'm ready. I'm home. I've got nobody invited, so nothing planned. And then it's delayed for next week. Oh, nice. Because next week I planned a birthday or some stupid shit like that.
Why would you do that?
Even more stress. No, because they said we're gonna release it in the middle of July, and then they do it the end of July. So my planning is nothing wrong with my planning. It's just Rare just throws sand in my pie. So
well, okay, so here's the thing. So moving forward, plan for a whole week of doing nothing. In the tech world, stuff happens. It's hard to meet deadlines, especially in the remote environment. So obviously, they want to put out a product that's, there's going to be issues with anything, right? So there's going to be little bugs here and there. They can't test everything. So there was probably a major thing that was going on, and
there was a major thing. Yeah.
So it needs to be addressed and fixed before it goes live.
No, I address it. They address it, and I don't blame them. Like, I'm not mad at Rare. It's just inconvenient. Like, objectively,
for you personally,
it's inconvenient. Yeah, for me personally.
For that one guy out of the 15 million.
But no, but no, for Old Buccaneer too, right? Because he took off.
That's
he has
true.
a limited amount of free days, and he took off to play the update.
That's true. Yeah.
So he didn't get to play the update, but he still has a free day. Like, oh shit, I have a free day now, and I really don't need to have a free day because the update isn't there, and you can't call your work back up. Hey, you know what? Call off Billy because I'm going to work now. It doesn't work like that. So, and I'm sure that for a lot of other people too, like even kids too, like they might be happy because they got a free day from school or something like that. And next week they might have exams, and it just feels like a bummer.
Well, obviously, I mean, it is a bummer, and they, the whole Twitch drops last week, the whole Halo thing, that was their sorry to the community.
Oh, I thought it was to promote the new Halo.
No.
Oh,
just to me.
All right.
When is the new Halo?
Good job, Rare. Christmas. I'm thinking Christmas.
Yeah, that wasn't to promote the new Halo. No, that was a sorry to the community. Here's something free. Because we missed our deadline. That's what that was.
Man, if it was a Banjo-Kazooie chipset, then I would have accepted it.
No, they just did the Halo one because they knew they could give that one away.
I know.
But you know how much that benefits these partners? Like, those Twitch drops are huge. Huge.
Yeah, I know. It's an industry, man.
Like their income for those months or those weeks where they have Twitch drops, I mean, just much. I mean, it has to be like tenfold.
Yeah, they make good money on that.
Stupid money.
But that's another topic. Let's stick to Sea of Thieves. Let's go over the Ashen Lords. The first thing this new update brings. So what are the new Ashen Lords? Well, they are a new world event. You can look through the horizon. If you see this fiery tornado, you can go there. Upon arrival, you fight a new boss type enemy. There's lots of lore behind them, but you need to dig, which I did. We'll go into that. It's a long fight. They're absolute bullet sponges. They kind of feel like the Skeleton Lords we used to, only they have some more varied attack and they're crazy powerful. If you don't watch out, they'll kill you really fast. And everybody can join in. It's like a fort, right? So you need to be on the lookout too for other pirates while you're doing that event. So how do you feel about the Ashen Lords?
It's cool. It's visually, it's all the cloud is amazing to me. Mm-hmm. It just looks so cool. The event, the different mechanics, obviously they have same mechanics from previous fights, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's the same. But with the new shroud thing that they do, I don't know if they have specific names, and then the volcano thing, I think it adds a huge difficulty into the encounter.
Yeah,
and it's just fun and visually looks great.
Yeah, I agree with that. And how about the audio? How do you feel about that?
So I mean, you mean like the music?
No, music, effects, and voice lines.
Oh yeah, no, it's good. I mean, everything's good. I like how they did everything.
I think the music could have been a little bit better. Like give them an original track. Like when you approach them, it's fine, but during the battle,
it seems like the approach
stuff
music though
we heard
starts
before.
Way early though.
Yeah, but I don't mind that. I think it starts, at a reasonable distance. I'm not that bothered about that. It's just more the final tune. Like it's a song we've heard. Counts. I said in my review too. It's not original.
But Robin
give
can only do so much.
initial music to the Ashen Lords. Make it sound like flamey or volcano-y. Do something with some instruments that makes it sound like it's fiery and
they should light the instrument on fire and play it and then see how it sounds.
No, if you I mean I capable of stuff like that.
Yeah, I get you.
And it's just so audio wise could have been different. Have you heard the heartbeats when they're recuperating?
I mean, I'm sure I have.
Because I didn't tell this before, because they have 3 phases, and like each phase they will do more stuff, and in the end they will do the volcano rocks. So they'll get harder, they get progressively harder during the battle. And when they're recuperating between those phases, and they will do this, I think 2 times, when you get close, you can hear their heartbeats like.
Yeah. Now that you're saying really it, nice. I mean, I know when they're they go into that state where you like attack it.
Yeah. Yep, indeed. So all of them have new, different voice actor, I think, and they also have their unique lines, making the different battles more unique. So how do you feel about that?
Oh, that's cool. I mean, bring variety for
That's
sure.
Great.
Yeah,
that's so great. I wish the original Skeleton Lords had that too.
We need to test if they say different things.
They do.
No. Things. As for per your character and boats and stuff, like the Flameheart fleet does.
Oh. Yeah, I've battled almost 10 different Ashen Lords now, and as far as I can tell, they don't say different stuff to different pirates.
Okay.
Just if it's a different Ashen Lord you're fighting, they have different lines. 2 of them are female, by the way. Red Ruth and what was the other one? Warden Chi. Yeah, but she sounds like a male to me. But maybe that's just me. We battled her together, and we talked about it too. But she sounds like a dude, but no, she's a girl. Overall, I do feel like there's some missed opportunity, because they have this heart is beating hard, but it doesn't do extra damage if you hit it.
Yeah, well, that's too much work.
If you bucket them with water too, they don't you don't douse them with water. It has no effect on them, as far as I can tell. So how do you feel about that? Because basically it's just avoid and attack.
Yeah, but they're done. That's like the majority of all the fights,
Yeah, but that should not be the norm, right?
Well, sorry to tell you.
No, I don't know. Like, I get that
They could only
your
do so.
fighting mechanics in this game. Yeah, they can only do
You
so
gotta,
much.
you
But
know,
still,
the character, the whole thing has to be redone, you know, with different hitboxes and all that kind of, you know, that's a lot of work.
yeah, no, I get it, but make it a bit more original. Like, you want to make the best game you can possibly make, right? So
Yeah,
why don't
I
you
mean, they're
put some
trying.
extra
I
effort
mean,
in
with the
that?
different, the mechanics and the fight and the phases and and
Yeah, but why don't you make so like when they're recuperating and you hear those heartbeats, like that would be the perfect moment to shoot them in the heart. And if you miss, then you need to do the first phase again, right? So,
that would just be
and if you
miserable.
hit the heart, then oh yeah, you really damaged, then you can go to the next phase. No, but stuff like that, it sounds annoying, but it goes, it shows that they're more unique than the Skeleton Lords, and
True.
that there's
Yeah.
actually a strategy of progressing through that battle, just not blindly attacking them.
Yeah.
And stuff like that would have gone a long way to making these battles a bit more unique. Because I had a lot of people, I said in my review, and I had a lot of new commenters, by the way, too, who said they felt the same. Like, it's a bit of a rehash, actually. The gameplay wise, it doesn't do anything unique. It feels the same. So it's a complaint a lot of people have, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I don't think it's you know, it's not really a rehash. I mean, there's you're fighting as a giant skeleton, and but I mean, it's totally, there's so many extra mobs. They have the phases. They have brand new attack. I mean, it's completely new. I think people are just thinking it's a rehash because you're fighting a skeleton, to be honest.
No, to be fair, I said it in my review too. Like, I really hope I don't come across as too negative, because I do really like them, and they've done a good job of making them unique. I'm just disappointed that it's just, you know, basic gameplay of attacking and avoiding, which a lot of games do, and I want to see a little bit more. Because we were kind of spoiled with the ships, like the ghost ships, like the month before.
Yeah.
Like, those felt different. Like, to defeat them, it's a different way to defeat them compared
Was
to
completely different
skeleton
than anything
ships.
else before.
Yeah,
I get that.
so,
I have a feel.
so I do.
You know, it's hard because they would have to redo. I mean, like, what else can you do?
Like what I said,
You know?
like make the heart a weak spot when they're recuperating.
Yeah, I know, but that would, yeah,
No, it's not good enough.
no.
All right. Well, let me know in the comments what you guys think, by the way, about this update. Because I'm really curious. Because they do this a lot, Sea of Thieves, and they can get away with it because it's just so fun. You know, being a pirate, but still a little bit more variety in the gameplay would be nice.
I'm
Especially since they've done it with the ghost ships, right?
Yeah, I still honestly believe their hype for their third year. I know I keep saying this, but I think they're really going to make these significant changes that you're hoping that they go towards in year 3.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm not disappointed in them at all, actually. Like, this is a really good update. I wished a little bit more, that's all.
Yeah.
But and they're doing a great job.
Yeah. Plus they're pushing these out like every month, you know, so
yes, and I do keep that in mind too.
There
because,
is that you have to
another world event after we just got a new world event. Yeah, that's come on, let's be fair, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so
let's dive into the lore a little bit, because we're kind of circling around the same subject.
Okay.
I'm gonna read a bit that's on the website, and then we'll discuss this. It seems the rage of Captain Flameheart is far from spent as he makes another play for dominance in the Sea of Thieves. Through the treachery of Stitcher Jim and the efforts of all those pirates duped into helping him, Flameheart has amassed the tombs, jewels, and other ritual ingredients needed to raise up his most loyal followers as fiery Ashen Lords. The Order of Souls now urge sensible pirates to defy these new aggressors. But sensible may be asking a lot when pirates realize what can be done with their flame-spewing skulls. So that's just one bit of lore on the website. So
can you reread that in John McCurtry's voice?
No, I don't even know who that is.
The guy, I'm pretty sure he's the one. John does the all the videos, or does he do the voices too?
Oh yeah. No, I can't do that. Sorry, I'm really bad at accents. I can only do the stupid Dutch guy that I'm doing right now. Um, those Ashen Lords are not new. They went into hiding before. You know, when Flameheart ruled the Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Before he was defeated, he had these 4 commanders. Those 4 Ashen Lords. Their names are Captain Grim, Red Ruth, Alter Ratio, and Warden Chi.
Red Roof.
And when Flameheart was defeated, shortly after, those Ashen Lords went into hiding. And now, thanks to the tombs, you remember the tombs we were collecting? Thanks to the tombs and the jewels, apparently, they were able to summon the Ashen Lords again. So before you fight an Ashen Lords, when you just arrive at the island, there's this pile of skulls, and you see Ashen Skeletons around that doing a ritual. And they're holding the books. And I was like, what are those books? But those are actually the Ashen Tombs. So the Ashen Tombs we were collecting before this update, they're being used in this ritual. So that's really nice to connect those updates together. Yeah, what's your opinion about this?
Yeah. You know, of course, the whole Rare is getting us to do all our dirty work. But can we still turn in those tomes to Duke?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
So what does Duke want them
for?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still a video game, right?
Yeah, so we got to get our combinations. It's neat, you know. Duke has some stuff he says about him, and then I just wish we knew more about Flameheart and stuff.
Yeah, about and all this.
Yeah, because it feels like new. You know what I mean? It's like they're making this stuff up after the novel and all that kind of stuff. You know, after the fact.
Yeah, it's true. There's actually way more information, but they also said that through tombs, ritual ingredients, and jewels. But I can't remember turning in jewels. Can you?
Jewels.
So the only jewels I can remember are the mermaid. But those are not connected to Flameheart. Those gems, and if they were, they would have, said gems in the lore instead of jewels.
Yeah,
because jewels are quite interesting because the reward, the Ashen Winds Skull, it's powered by Ashen jewels. And we'll go into that later when we get to that subject. And those jewels are also responsible for the Ashen Curse, and also for turning the pets into Ashen pets. So the jewels are heavy with curses. So, but I can't remember ever holding a jewel or reading about it.
I can't.
So either. It feels it feels like they invented the jewels for this update, and they kind of woven it into the lore. All right, something else that's interesting, because we're fighting 4 different Ashen Lords, but the website says, and I quote again, the Order of Souls has divined the names of 4 Ashen Lords, ... so far. So that they might be hinting at more Ashen Lords to come. Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
No, cool. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, they need to, for the storyline to progress. You can't just have these 4. We need more.
Yes, indeed. Something else about the lore. These deadly skeleton captains were nuisance enough before, but having pledged themselves to Flameheart and had the Ashen curse bestowed upon them, they are now capable of terrible devastation. So originally they were skeleton captains or skeleton lords, and they went to Flameheart and they say, hey, we like you, can you give us some more powers? And Flameheart was like, yeah, sure, I can give you the Ashen curse, so you be more powerful, but you've got to work for me. So that's the basic background story on those lords. They're not just named, and they actually have a role in the army of Flameheart. Captain Grim was a sly one who constructed lairs and fortresses to hold all the treasure they stole. So most of the remaining skeleton forts on the Sea of Thieves were actually built by Captain Grim.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is indeed cool, because I always wondered who who built those forts. Like, is it just skeletons deciding, hey, we should have a fort? But now we know some more lore about those forts, which is really nice. Again, you need to really look for it. It's one of the dialogue options of Duke. He tells a little bit of the background story of those individuals, and you'll learn that indeed Captain Grim was responsible for building most forts. Not all of them, but most of them. We also have Red Ruth, who was the alchemist responsible for designing weapons, including the cursed cannonballs for the Burning Blade. So she designed the cursed cannons and cursed cannonballs. When the Burning Blade sunk, it was later found again by Wanda, and Salty, I guess. And they found the cannonballs, and Wanda. The cannon. Sorry, and Wanda. Yeah. So and Wanda reverse engineered that into making those cursed cannonballs. So that's interesting. So we always thought of Wanda being the first, but it was actually Red Ruth, a Ashen Lord, who designed those cursed cannonballs originally. Then we also have old Horatio, who was in charge of constructing ships and press ganging skellies to crew them. Also, Horatio reminds me of Horatio Hornblower. I don't know if that's a wink to that character, but I don't know. And of course, we have Warden She ran the prison where they threw anyone that Flameheart wanted to kept alive, or barely kept alive. So she ran the prison. Do you think we're gonna discover that prison in the future?
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I think I think there's a lot. Like I said, I think there's gonna be whole new areas introduced. I think when Flameheart is finally in the game, it's gonna be something the players we're not gonna expect.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see.
I have a feeling it's gonna be like a multi-level thing, world event. Multiple crews can join in, and you're gonna go through this like either multi-level giant ship or giant or just like multi-levels like under the ground thing, like this huge event that people are like,
I think so too.
Is this Sea of Thieves?
Do you think they're gonna make an event where you need to work together with other crews?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I hope so too. That would be really sweet. So you can only defeat Flameheart.
Not only, they need to allow it for the soul. You know what I mean? But it'll. Well, maybe they might work.
Well, as a solo player, you can look for other crews too. I mean, that's what we done with the Megalodon, right? The very first
that's true. You
event.
need at least
as a solo player, you just need to look for friendly crews that want to help you out. So you can definitely do this as a solo player.
Yeah.
But maybe you need to open his lair or prison or whatever he will be hiding at, and you need multiple crews to open it because that's the only way to do it. I mean, I wouldn't mind that, and then you can betray them at the end when you have a skull or something like that. But we'll see. That's just a speculation. To get back to the Ashen Lords, have you looked at the new title screen of this update?
The Ashen Winds title screen?
Yes.
Which title screen?
When you well, yeah, I guess there are two new ones.
There's a new one when you start the game right before the rare logo.
Yeah, with the sepia tone. It was actually in the news segment, but we didn't discuss that. But yeah, when you start the game, with the first loading screen is a new sepia toned picture, which shows a bit of the good guys and the bad guys. And two ships. I don't know why they didn't decide to put the sloop there too, because they showed the brigantine and the galleon, but not the sloop. It shows people that there's more lore in the game now than in the beginning when the game just got released. So yeah, that's nice. But that's not the title screen I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Sea of Thieves Ashen Winds update title screen after that. So what do you think about that?
I didn't really pay. I mean, it looks cool, but I didn't pay too much. Is there something secret in there?
Yes, there is. That's why I'm asking. Because on the left there's an urn, a burning urn, with a dragon on it. So I never seen that urn before. It was not. At first I thought, oh well, maybe that's a new weapon or a new type of loot, but it's not. And I could not find this urn. I did not because usually the title screen there's stuff that's new, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so Cursed Cannonballs were on the title screen when they were introduced. Now we can also see the new Ashen Winds Skull, the new weapon time. You see Flame Art and on top, but there's also an urn to the left, and we've never seen that urn as far as I know. However, I did some more digging, and the urn is actually in the game. So
I'm looking
when
this
you
up
go
right now.
to go for it. So when you go to the Ashen Lord, I told you before there's this pile of skulls, and there are Ashen skeletons with the Ashen tombs doing their ritual. But on top of the skull pile is that urn. So the next time you play the Ashen Lords event, just approach slowly to the ritual, have a look at the skull pile, see what's on it, and you will see that urn there too.
And look, they have little ghost ships that are like the emissary ships on the emissary tables.
Yes, there was last update too, so I think that's still a hint of to the last update. Yeah,
gotcha.
Because it's also related to Flame Art, right? Because Flame Art is there on the top of the screen, and he's like, menacing, like being the puppet master he is. And he is, because he manipulated us all in resurrecting him, and he manipulated us in getting his Ashen Lords back too. So, yeah.
Well, if you watch my machinima, it actually wasn't Flameheart.
Oh yes, that's fake news. So if you want an alternative story,
watch
the machinima of UNIBALL. No, that's cool. I like that. But still, it kind of, I'm disappointed that we have this urn, and it's not really needed to have an urn, because you could just explain it by just needing the Ashen Tombs or the jewels. So why do you include that urn that we've never seen before, right? So I thought that was a little bit weird.
It contains the ashes. I don't know.
Shit. Yeah, I'm guessing you're right.
Yeah, it probably has the ashes of these lords.
Because that's what you put in a urn. You put ashes in an urn.
Yep.
And they're called Ashen Lords.
Ashes and cookies.
Huh. Yeah. Both at the same time.
You mix them up, yeah. Funny.
Oh, yeah, that's
I was gonna...
Yeah, I think you're probably right. So maybe
I'm always right.
Flameheart told his regular skeletons, hey, put these ashes in these urns and resurrect them
lords and resurrect them when I want you to. Yep.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that actually does make a lot of sense. Let's see if we can find some more lore. Yeah, they're imbued with the Ashen Jewels, but we'll discuss that a little bit later. I can find right now.
Ooh.
Again, it's yeah.
Wait. No. It's in the role-playing game. There's a book.
Oh, nice.
In the role-playing game, there's a book, something called the Book of Voyages, and it says a complete campaign for the Sea of Thieves that will have pirates questing for the Ashen Jewels. Dun dun dun.
Ah, see, that's what I don't like. You need to have a lot of other sources to get lore.
Yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm playing the game, I'm having a blast, and I'll probably like it. I'll get extra lore by doing so. Same with reading the book, right? It's the most fun part about the book is just getting all that lore, so you enrich the game. And that's what I really like. But on the other hand, it's also disappointing because whenever there's a new update, you need to do the digging yourself. Like, and the listeners, if you listen to this podcast, hey, we do it for you. So that's really nice for you guys. But for the normal player, they don't get all that extra lore, which is a bit of a shame.
Can you still buy this game?
Oh, that role? Probably, yeah, I'm guessing so.
It wasn't.
I know one of my crewmates has it.
Time limited.
I don't know. I think you can still buy it. You get some sales too, some in-game sales if you buy the game.
Yeah, I don't like those.
Oh, I do, but again, I wish you would get an entire ship instead of just the sales. But hey, that's just me. Yeah. So one thing I want to address too about the lore as well, because it was one of my subscribers who asked it for the podcast. In one of the previous podcasts, I can't remember who it was, but thanks for asking that, because he asked, isn't it a spoiler, like the Skull of Flameheart with the skeleton ship events? And back then, I think I gave the answer. Yes, it is, but it doesn't really matter, because as soon as they do the Seabound Soul, it will click, right? So they will probably, people are smarter than most other people think. So they probably know that, oh yeah, this fits here chronologically. Like I think most people can figure that out. However, now we have a new event too with the Ashen Lords, and if you want to get the lore of that, you really need to have an understanding of previous events and even some previous tall tales. So the more they're gonna add like these lore-driven world events, the more you need to know about that, and especially for the newer players, it can be overwhelming, or it can be really fun since there's so much lore to discover. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, but that's with anything, the more that they, yeah, I get that it'll be confusing for newer players, like to go through it all, because then it's especially confusing because we know where do they start, you know what I mean, as well. So like, I guess Rare set it up so they start up with all the tall tales, and that'll give them an overall view of the lore of the game. But does the tall tales really go over Flameheart? No, not really, except for the Seabound Soul.
And Heart of Fire.
And yeah. So I mean, after the original 9, those tall tales were, focused on Ramsey and Rathbone and that storyline. But the whole Flameheart storyline, that doesn't start until the Seabound Soul. So yeah, I get that. There would be an element of confusion, but I think that's just how it is, adding more content to the game that's just part of it.
All right. Yeah. It's a bit of a shame because it is a little bit of maybe they should have done it a little bit different, but I don't know how.
What they could do is they could revamp the Maiden Voyage. They could set the tone more of the game, of the game lore in the Maiden Voyage. That's, I think, the purpose of the Maiden Voyage is to teach the player the basic mechanics of the game. But they could, in a way, set the tone of the lore of the game in the Maiden Voyage, not like directly, but with like books around the island, with paintings, that kind of stuff, where if somebody really wanted to dive deep, there would be an opportunity for them to kind of get at a high level expectation of what the lore would be once they actually got into the game.
All right, that makes sense. Let's talk about the emissary rep, because you don't really get emissary rep by doing this battle, right?
Yeah.
But how do you feel about that? I'm disappointed by that, actually.
I don't really care. I mean, I wouldn't be. To me, emissary rep is gained by getting items, and then doing certain things, for like the Reapers, killing stuff.
All right, man, that's fine. But
so that was never all the other world
events. All the other world events give emissary rep. This one does not. Only when you pick up the skull, you get a little bit.
But you're talking about
emissary rep.
I mean, if you kill a Skull Fort boss, that doesn't give you emissary rep.
Yes, it does.
Does it?
If you finish Skull Fort, you get emissary rep. Yeah, for whatever emissary you're flying. Yeah.
I think you're lying.
And the same for.
But if that's the case, then that's an overlook.
Yeah. Well, if I'm lying, you will read in the comments because people love to correct me.
If that is the case, then this is an overlook.
And the same for Flamer, right? It gives rep too. If you kill a skeleton ship, not even the world event. If you kill a skeleton ship, you get rep for that too. Emissary rep.
Are you sure?
And you don't get emissary. Yeah, I'm sure. And you don't get emissary rep for doing the Ashen Lord. Only very little, which is also nice because
any one of those 3-shot skeleton ships give you rep. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, what?
Any one of those doing the Flameheart event, if you took down the spectral.
No. That's a ghost ship. I'm talking about skeleton ships.
Oh yeah, random encounter. So my expectation was random encounters give you rep, like.
Yeah, but world events too.
Yeah, I didn't think world events did. So Megalodon, Kraken, random.
Megalodon does too. Yeah.
Yeah. To me, those are separate entities than world events.
Oh, just pay attention when next time you play, you'll see it.
All
No,
right, so
guys, like
I'm gonna do a skull fort.
often you don't notice because you're just having a blast and just around with your crew. So I get that you're not always
Are
paying
we having a
attention on your
blast?
emissary rep meter.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a skull fort
Right now during the podcast.
with Athena
Hmm.
and see if that goes up.
Yeah, but
You're
only
telling me
a
that's gonna
little
go up.
bit. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, if up is up.
Yeah, well, it does matter because if you touch all the treasure after that, that doesn't go up anymore. So if you want to level up your Athena, you should not be doing skull forts.
I know, but what you're saying is that it will go up.
But it will go up. Yeah, yeah, it will go up a little bit. Yeah.
And I'm saying, I think you're full of dookie.
All right. Well, you don't even need to do it yourself. You can read the comments on this podcast.
Well, I guess I never
All
really threw up an emissary and then did a skull fort.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If I was doing an emissary, I was doing a quest specific for that emissary, and the skull fort will have. Yeah.
So to get away from the emissary rep, but how do you feel about the rewards you get from defeating the Ashen Lord? Yeah, they do kind of suck, right? But don't you think it's like it looks like it's very because when you defeat an Ashen Lord, you get the Ashen Winds Skull, but you also get Ashen themed loot like gemstones or an Ashen Captain's chest or an Ashen Skull.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not that much, but they're worth more, right? So don't you think it's just a visual thing? Because it's worth twice as much.
No,
right?
I think they're trying to get those elements in the game because nobody goes to Devil's Roar.
Yeah, maybe. As soon as they make
I love the Devil's Roar, by the way.
Go, me too. I like it too. Yeah. I don't like the earthquakes, but apart from that, I don't really mind Devil's Roar. High risk, high rewards. It's fine. I like it. But yeah, the rewards do feel a little bit less. Like even though they're worth more, when I turn everything in, I'm like, I could have made
what is the cash
more
value?
money if I done a fort. Yeah, I didn't count.
Because obviously it's going to fluctuate. It's
yeah, of course. Yeah,
because the skull, if it's being used or if it gets stolen. But
yeah, but the skull is only worth 5,000 base value if it's full, which is not a lot. Let's be honest, it's not a lot.
So this has to be a fraction. Reward. The reward amount feels like it's a fraction of what you would get doing a skull fort.
Yeah, I think like basically any other event will give you more gold and more rep. Yeah,
like
especially if you count the fact that you don't
give you more gold.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say
or
that,
a ghost
but
ship.
especially when you the ghost ship event that does give way more, but also
not the event.
Mind,
I'm just saying. Sorry.
Shut up! let me finish. God, you're terrible. I want to say like that's why I bundled this together because if you don't get emissary rep, you won't get your multiplier. So that's another reason why the other events will give you more gold. Like if you do the ghost ships event or if you do a skeleton ship event, like if you do the ghost ship event with Flameheart. If you do gold orders, order souls, or merchant alliance, you will get to grade 5 by just doing that event and picking up all loot. If you do National Lord event, you won't get to grade 5 at all. You maybe get to grade 2 if you're doing gold orders or order souls or something like that. So your multiplier is terrible, which makes the value of your rewards even less. So yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So they suck.
Yes, so the reward kind of sucks. Yeah. So crank up the rewards and crank up the emissary that we'll get, and nobody will complain anymore. So how do you think this compares to the other world events?
Reward wise, is horrible, but just
fun-wise?
Overall playment and gameplay wise, I think it's comparable because it's fun and it's new, and the mechanics. They're completely new mechanics in a fight, which makes it much more challenging. Yeah,
like the attacks they do are different than we've seen before. Yeah. No, I get that. Like they rehashed a lot of shit, like the geysers and the lava rocks or however you want to call them. We've seen that before. It's all from the Roar, only they refitted now. I do really like that that you're fighting them on regular islands. It's easier, I guess, but it's just fun having a battle on an island where you usually only just dig treasure, right?
Yeah. So as
So
far
it's nice to
as
have a big event there.
yeah, so as far as them being classified as a world event, I think they
Mhm.
meet that expectation. But
Oh yeah.
for reward wise, no.
Yes. Yeah. No. Totally agree. So, do you think we're gonna see? But I thought this in my review too. Would it be nice to see those Ashen Lords in a Telltale actually as a final boss for a Telltale? Maybe we'll get the Stitcher Gym. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think so. That would be cool. That would be their introduction may have been better in a Telltale, and then
Yes, and then
transition to
afterwards,
a
yes,
kind of like the Skeleton
yes,
Lords did. Yeah.
yes, that's how I was thinking too. Like if we had the Telltale now instead of this update, which we had Stitcher Gym as an Ashen Lord as a final boss fight, and then next week you'll do the next month, sorry, you do this world event. That would have been, overall better, I feel like. But no, they did this.
Yeah.
I feel like I also itch for a Telltale right now, since we have two world events. It's great, I love world events, but we have two back to back, and I kind of wish that we had a Telltale in between them. How do you feel about that?
You're right. It's been a while. So when did Seabound Soul come out? October, November?
Let's have a look at my update review when I released that. Seabound Soul. Let's see. Seabound Soul, but is it good? I released that in November 22nd, so
Okay. So
yeah.
then Heart of Fire came out in March or late February.
Heart of Fire came out March, yeah, middle of March.
Yeah. So then so what was that? 1, 2, 3, 3.5-ish months. And then
It's a
so
long
we were
time.
due if they wanted to go that route, I felt like we probably were due a Telltale.
Because there's Seabound Soul 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so they had Seabound Souls. Then we had 3 updates till Heart of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd think 3 updates after that, yeah, should be this update. Should have been Telltale.
It would have been nice,
if you go by that logic. Yeah.
But
So yeah, we want one.
It's probably a lot of. I mean, obviously the Telltales are a lot of work too. So
Yes.
And the Heart of Fire was, the Seabound Soul was a lot easier to make than the Heart of Fire.
It's a shame. We talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
They have this incredible layer on the ground. Layer. Sorry, you have this incredible layer on the ground, and you only use it for Telltale. And that's it. And then after that, you don't see it anymore.
Yeah. So what they should do, so the devs, if they do listen, these places should be reused. The Shores of Gold needs to be reused in some fashion. And then the Heart of Fire, if to build off the storyline, if they want to build an underground cavern, the entranceway or something could be, somewhere near the stuff needs to be reused, right? And then Shores of Gold, you use it 5 times. The Heart of Fire, you use it 3 times, and that's it.
Yep.
And you never go back unless you do some crazy stuff.
I hope, especially Shores of Gold, that
Tribute
Peak. Yeah, give us more stuff, Rare. You're giving us a lot, but we want more.
Yeah.
So let's jump over to the next discussion. I think we're kind of done with talking about the Ashen Lords.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to the Ashen Winds Skull, which is the main reward for defeating the Ashen Lords. So every time you defeat one Ashen Lord, you get 1 Ashen Winds Skull. And you can use it as a flamethrower. It's an incredibly powerful flame. And it's powered by gems? Jewels, Ashen Jewels, that's the right term. Ashen Jewels, the more you use it, the more empty those jewels will become. If you turn in a fully charged Ashen Wind Skull, you get the most value about it. But if you end up using it in either PvE or PvP situations, it's going to be worth less. So, what's your opinion about this new type of loot?
It's cool. I mean, obviously it brings a different aspect to the game. The price of selling it full is, I think, negligible. I think you should only sell it full to get that combination.
Yes, and you only need to do it once.
And then after that, you just burn everybody.
I totally agree, and it's so fun to use because I had limited for my review. I had limited time of checking it out,
Mhm.
so I didn't really use it in PvP situations. Now I have. It's really fun. It's really fun to do that.
How long
We
does it
got
last?
pretty long actually. Yeah, pretty long. We did we also used it for Skull Fort. We kind
Mhm.
of used it before we did Skull Fort. We used a little bit on the island where we got it.
Yeah.
So it melts skeletons, man. It's like and boom,
Yeah.
they're dead. The accommodation don't get through. Like I have a problem with my counter. It's stuck at 12 at the moment. So hey, fix it, Rare, please, because I'm a completionist. So some of the accommodation are not getting through the way they should. So that's a reminder for people who are trying to use this call. So it's not you, it's also other people. Like my crew also had the same problem. It just didn't count. But it's really fun to do. Like you can tear through a skull fort, and that's what I like about it. Because we done the Ashen Winds event, we get the skull, and then hey, the fort pops up, and let's use it for the fort. Or even
Mhm.
if it was a skeleton ship battle, hey, let's use the skull for the skeleton fleet. And then the feel of that, of going from event to event and taking something with you from one of those events and using it for a new event, and have kind of like a PvP PvE edge. Yeah, that's amazing. That's so amazing. It's really good. I really like this skull. First, I was like, yeah, it's a novelty. Like in my review too, I was like, yeah, it's fun, it's nice, but you actually really get a lot of usage out of it. And I love it now. I think it's really great.
What does the min sell for when you deplete it?
We've done it, but I can't remember anymore. I really can't remember anymore. Things like 2K, but don't take my word
That's
for
not
it.
bad.
But still, like I don't care. I don't care
Yeah, I
about
don't care
gold.
either.
Like
I
I
think it
got
should be
16
one
million.
gold. But anyways, I think maybe we should set a session where we get as many of these things as possible and then try to melt like a megalodon or gray marrow or
Yeah.
wrathbone before these other
Yeah,
people do
sounds
it.
good. I'm definitely down for
And
it.
then
Just
you
getting
title the YouTube video and we'll put it on my channel so I can get the views.
yeah,
World's
sure. No, I agree with that.
world's fastest gray marrow kill, and then boom, 2 seconds.
I
World's fastest
yeah, and
megalodon kill.
1 million subscribers. Let's go.
Boom.
And then you'll put my name in the credits this time, but with a slightly larger font than
Nope.
you usually
Still
do, and
same
I'll be happy
same
too.
font. I choose that font on purpose. I choose that size on purpose.
Why?
Not to
You don't.
make it so that people can't read, but I'm very minimalistic.
Well, it's really hard to read.
Well,
like I had to look at my screen, like my eyes were glued to it to read my own name. I was like, all right, is this
it's
your
not that
thanks?
small.
That's what she said.
Hopefully.
All right, no, we can do that. I think that since the events are switching not that regularly, like they switch,
well,
but you don't get the Ashen Winds a lot. I mean, that was the problem with Old Buccaneer too. Like every time he played this update, the event was not up.
Yeah.
And I played with him too, and we did Skull Fort in the hope that the Ashen Winds will spawn, but then it was skeleton ships, and like, oh come on, we want this event.
Yeah.
So you need to get a little bit lucky, but yeah. But we need to get 4 skulls, right?
Yes, 4. So
for each one.
Yeah. So just but
let's do that.
Let me. The Ashen Wind event is in the rotation more than normal.
Yes,
during this thing.
That's what they said, but in my experience, that's not true. It feels like it's 1 in 4 chance. That's how it feels to me.
Well, it wouldn't. It would be 1. They can't be 1 out of 4 because they can't double it.
What do you mean?
I mean, if you had a 25% chance of it happening, then you have a 25% chance of it happening immediately after the first one. So
yes,
it's
taken
out of the rotation.
Correct.
So it's
we're not gonna do calculations right now, but if you are
who knows how they do it? Yeah. Anyways, we just need to go. You know what we need? We need to, once everything opens up, we just need to go to say, excuse me, Rare, like knock on their front door and like, we are YouTubers and we're here to interview you. So please set the time aside for us to interview you and see what they say.
Hopefully, and I will ask if Louis O'Connor is available.
It's free. Because they do this, you know, Green Skull and AI and games, like they've both gone to Rare and interviewed them. And Rare's, you know, been super happy. But granted, they have much bigger audiences. But
yeah, well, there's also this other podcast, Sea of Thieves podcast called Keelhole podcast.
yeah,
I think.
they know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's well known.
So yeah, yeah, I don't know. He's not big on YouTube. He might be bigger in the podcast space.
Yeah, he is.
All right, yeah. So there you go. And he was actually able to get one
Captain
of the developers
Logan
on his podcast.
Yeah. So
yeah.
they like him, but they don't like you.
Apparently, hey, I'm still trying to make my name.
Yeah, but he's been doing it for a long
creator.
time. So, you know, the dude's been grinding this thing for a long time. So he's built an audience. He's built a presence.
I would be nervous as shit if a developer came on the podcast. I want it. Don't get me wrong. It would be cool. But I need to prepare a lot of questions for them to make it a good episode. anyways, let's get back on talk again. So, have you been using the skull yourself?
No, just sold it.
All right. Yeah, like I said, I used it especially for Skeleton Forts. It was a blast using it. So do you want more of this loot type? You know, usable loot that you can use as a weapon or something else?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I didn't expect this to be part of the game. So that would be cool if they did more stuff like that.
Do you have ideas of what you would want?
No, you know, he's gonna put me on the spot. So I don't have any real. I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, just I'll go first, and we can see if you have an idea. Because in my review, I said a two-handed ceremonial weapon. You know, something that does like a massive damage when you use it against player, but it can break, and then it will be worth less for the gold horrors, for example. That's maybe not that super creative of me. Something else I was thinking of were stealth boxes, like kind of like a trinket, and when you hold the trinket, you're invisible, but you cannot attack because you're holding it, right? So if you want to attack people, you need to drop it. So that could be cool. Yeah, that was my only other idea.
That is cool. Invisibility trinket, but I wouldn't say completely invisible. I'd say like a.
Yeah, no, not completely. You can still, you know, like how video games handle invisibility. You can always, if you're really lucky, you can make people
like
out.
The Predator.
Yeah.
But maybe like your footsteps are completely muted.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe not. You know, so you can always tell if somebody is using it. I don't know, something like that. Or maybe just like Chest of Sorrows, right? Only you activate it, like you activate that water instead of a flamethrower. You have like a water thrower, and you can go on another ship and you can make them sink without the need of holes.
That might be OP,
for example. Yeah, well, you just make it slowly, right? And you cannot attack because you're holding that item. And if they kill you, they have the item in their position all of a sudden. So, you know, it could be fun. I'm just throwing out ideas. Like I haven't really thought about them, but I do want to see more of this type of loot. I think that's amazing, especially once you have a lot of that stuff. It becomes so much more interesting the game overall because sometimes you'll find the flamethrower, sometimes you find that that invisible stuff. So it's always a different experience, and also what our other crews are gonna use, right? So yeah, could be cool.
Yeah, new and interesting ways.
Anything you have come up like a loot that you can use as a weapon or something like that?
No, I can't.
Or maybe something that to control the wind, like a blowing horn or something like that. So you always have the wind in your sails. It's too OP or just boring. I mean, it would be nice just to blow it in your direction, but you need to hold it. I mean,
yeah, but then cool, it's just such a. Like how would you get it? And like, just the whole balancing act. Like you could hold on to one for so long and just use it to get away from people.
Yeah, but let's leave the balancing up to Rare, right? And the insiders. But no, that would be cool because you have the blowing horn, for example, and then you use it when you're chasing somebody. So but you can only use it a certain amount of time. So you really need to make it count when you try to use it. I know it could be frustrating for peoples. I'm just throwing
It
ideas.
could be, yeah. Like,
yeah. And let me know, guys, if you listen to the podcast, what you guys think. I'm really curious about ideas like that. I think it's really fun to think about different ways to improve this game. Do you think the skull should pop up more frequently, like as a piece of loot or as a piece of loot in when you do the, I don't know, Fort of Damned or something like that? Do you think we should see the skull in different places?
eventually we will. As of right now, no.
All right.
I believe we will. Because they've done that with other items, right? Especially in the Fort of the Damned. They've
yes.
you know, so yeah. But as from a lore perspective, it doesn't make sense for it to pop up anywhere, you know, right now.
Well, maybe you could do. Yeah, I think you can make a lore explanation why it's in different places. I think they can do that.
They would have to do something. They need another Fort of the Damned.
Yeah, I agree. Like make another use of the ritual skull, because the only use of the ritual right now is to activate the Fort of the Damned, which is really great. But hey, it's a ritual skull. It's not a Fort of the Damned skull. It's a ritual skull. So let's use it for different rituals as well. Yeah, I would really like that. Or maybe even with the flamethrower skull too, right? So that you only have certain beacons that you need to use that flamethrower skull to activate those. I don't know.
No, that'd be cool.
I'm just throwing ideas. With the ghost cannonballs too, like the only you can only get them from the Flameheart World event. Those ghost cannonballs. I'm a bit disappointed by them because they're great. I think visually they look great.
Yeah, they're awesome.
But there's only one way to get them, and you need to do an entire event for that. So I kind of wish the ghost cannonballs would pop up more frequently as well. Oh yeah, lore-wise, this flamethrower skull has, of course, the jewels. Kind of touched upon that. You drain them when you use the skull. You drain the gems, but I think that was already clear for the listeners. Let's dive into the Emporium. There's no new ships. So because it's their 35th anniversary, all their heritage ships are on sale right now. It still sucks, by the way, like they call it a sale, but they're still crazy expensive, so I'm not gonna buy them. But the real addition in the Emporium is, of course, the new Ashen pets. Lore-wise, they got cursed by being touched by the magical flames of the Devil's Roar, which is a bit that's a word I can't pronounce again. So it's ambiguous? A bit unclear. Ambiguous, yeah. I have a problem with that word.
Amphibious.
Amphibious. It's a bit amphibious.
No, ambiguous.
No, ambiguous, yeah.
Battle toads are amphibious.
I know. So other sources are telling us that they were scorched by the roar, and another source tells us they were touched by the magical flames of the roar. But you get the Ashen curse thanks to Flameheart. We don't really know how he does it. The Chest of Rage is involved, so it's kind of weird how you explain how pets get Ashen curse. Like, did they go to Flameheart and you know, pledge their allegiance to him to get the Ashen curse? I don't know.
They did the tall tale 3 times.
Yeah. Indeed.
That's what they did.
No, so it had something to do with those Ashen jewels. I think you see those jewels in when you do the Heart of Fire too, right? So like the crystals, maybe you can make jewels from those crystals, and if you touch them too much, I mean, goes hand in hand with the gold curse, right? Some gold is cursed. You touch the gold, you get the gold curse. Makes sense if it's similar to those jewels. So yeah, those pets probably touched some Ashen jewels and they got cursed. So that's, you know, kind of like the lore behind it. But how do you feel about them? Do you like them? Did you buy them?
No, I don't buy pets too much. I already spent too much money on other stuff in the. Yeah, they look really cool.
I know.
They do look cool, especially with the heart.
They look really cool. Yes.
They do look cool.
I like the eyes. I like the glowing eyes a lot. But yeah, they're cool. They're cute. They're cool, and they're also hot at the same time. So that's pretty sweet.
Which sounds weird.
We also have. Yeah, I know. Well,
Man, all these pets are so hot. We got a new pet calendar hanging up. The August pet's super hot.
I'm only using this word because they have the Ashen curse. All right, let's go to the character emote bundle. I just have to. I had a little look through the trailer, but you bought them actually. So
Of
how do
course,
you feel about this
the
bundle?
best.
How do you feel about that?
They're doing everything that I asked.
Care to elaborate on that for
Yeah,
listeners?
so in podcast number, I forgot of the Pirate Emporium, we discussed about things that they should add. One, custom servers. Two, more emotes that have the characters talking and doing more things, so you can translate that into content. And guess what? They're all coming.
They're all doing it. No, that's true.
So the emotes are here. Custom servers are around the corner. I'm mad that I was not an alpha tester for
that. Do you think that they're gonna bring it to the insiders so insiders can test that?
What, the custom servers?
Custom servers?
Yes, 100%. They've already said. Yeah, Joe Needs already said that.
Nice.
That is,
yeah, I'm excited to test that out.
that is public knowledge.
All right, cool.
So yeah.
Just so that we don't get banned, right? That's why you said that.
If we got to see if these.
We're not breaking NDA right here.
No, Joni. So on their thing, they're coming out with custom servers. They've selected a group of alpha testers to test, and later they will be opening it up to insiders to test.
Nice.
And then we'll go from there. We'll see what happens.
Sweet. But what do you think about the emote bundle? Like, can you tell us what is in it?
So there's two emotes. There's the one bundle is all the character animations of like the shopkeeps and stuff like that in the game, and like Duke's positions, like when he was in the tavern, like with an arm on the barkeep, or when he was scared because he got burnt by the flames at one event or whenever that was.
Do they match up with the environment?
If you do it just right, yeah.
Nice. That's pretty sweet.
So yes, so the one with the bar, you have to set your character just right, and then you have your hand on the bar and with your other hand with your cup. And then so they have that bundle, and they're cheaper too for this month, I guess. And so they're amazing. Like the weaponsmith one, the shipwright one, like all these animations you could do now, or all the animations that you saw all these NPCs were doing, you can now do. And then the other one is the storytelling, or I don't know exactly the title of that bundle, the emotion emote bundle. But then you could have like happy, sad, bragging, story, all these other different ones where the characters are actually talking. And so now, like, I can go out and I can make a storyline and have like voice acting and have it go with these characters talking and doing like an actual dialogue, which will be amazing.
That's true. That's actually one of the things I forgot to put in my review. Like, I only talked about the emotes bundle, the character emote bundle, not the storytelling bundle. You told me yesterday, and I was like, oh shit, that they add another bundle too. I did not see that, but it's not on the main page, right? You need to look a little bit for that one, right? Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I can open the Emporium right now.
I'm pretty sure they did this for content creators, because obviously, the regular person is not gonna. I don't think they're just gonna do an emote where you're just doing a happy talking like, blah, 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 that's for creating content specifically. So the ones that they got just for the regular Joe Schmoes are probably no offense. I just called everybody else Joe Schmoes. But the ones with all the vendors, those are for fun. People can do those like on the ship, like, look at me what I'm doing, But the ones specifically with the character's mouths moving, I think were implemented to create actual stories.
I'm looking at them right now. I'm gonna buy it actually. I think I'm gonna buy the entire
You
bundle.
need to, because everyone's using 3 sheets neat to do their little dialogues in the beginning of their videos, and like no
including
offense.
Me. Well, not at the beginning.
It's gonna get old.
I use this penalty. I think I I use it sparingly.
Well,
only when I really...
what you need to do if to switch it up, because everybody's doing it, right? Or everybody has done it. What you need to do is you need to do some punch in and punch outs with your edits and the cuts. So it's not one continuous shot of you just talking, doing the same emote. You can still do the emote. You just need to cut at different, angles and closer up and stuff like that. Yeah. To give it variety.
Yeah, I'm buying this bundle now. Let's go. Oh, and there's also an emote that's free.
The heel click. That's an awesome one. Yeah.
All right. So if you haven't got it yet, for the people who are listening, go to Pirate Emporium. It's on the first page. It's in the bottom right corner. They do this every month. They always give one emote away for free. Next month you need to pay for it. So hey, if you want a free emote, buy it now.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And the final thing they added was some more outfits for the cats. The Kraken outfits. I don't really have anything to say about that. If you like Kraken outfits for cats, that's it. You can buy it.
Yeah, I have nothing to say.
I don't really care. So let's go over the other additions. Like the new events. We have the Skull Sweep event, which is every Wednesday. So if you're playing on Wednesday, if you turn in stuff at the Order of Souls, you will get more gold and more rep. They moved the Ashen expeditions are not there anymore, but the gold rush still is. So gold chest is twice a day, an hour, where everything will be worth more when you turn the stuff in. If you want to know the exact times for your region, you can you can go to the website and you can read it there. So yeah, do you like that? The events, the Skull Sweep event every Wednesday?
I mean, I don't personally do them.
Yeah, I don't pay attention either.
But for the game itself, yeah, I think it's a good addition to the game.
It's nice. It's something extra. So let's go to the most controversial one, and that's the removing of wall banging. So for the people who don't know, if wall banging is like the kind of the verb you use when you shoot your bullets through the walls or floors on the ship, or even the mast. It was unintentional, but it was there since the beginning of the game. A lot of people got really good at that. Like I've got a lot of crewmates who are really good at doing this. I used some of those clips in my update review. Like those are really good, but they removed it. So how do you feel about this?
I think it should have been removed. I'm not one of those people that's like anti-wall banging. I mean, if you use, it was in the game. So if you're able to get good at it, then, I would use it whenever, I was never good at it, but if there was a situation that arose where I knew I could wall bang, I did wall bang, like in one of my, I think a video you just watched was that Rampage one. I wall banged through the side of that brig.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw
when I was in the water, right? And that was and no scope wall bang.
I saw that. Yeah, well, no scope wasn't hard to do in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Hip fire was insanely accurate in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I miss that.
I miss those days.
But anyways, yeah. So the only. So I don't mind that they got rid of it, right? So there are certain places where you can still wall bang through steps and stuff, and grates in the ships. But my question is, can you wall bang the bottom of the crow's nest?
I don't think you can anymore.
That sucks.
You can shoot through stairs. That's still possible, but I don't think you can do the crow's nest.
Because I want to test that because, with a moving object, like a moving ship, that crow's nest will have a flat bottom. With a moving ship in the ocean, that flat bottom is going to rotate and dip and dive and pivot on its axis, right?
Yeah.
So if the actual bottom part, so where is that hitbox when it's moving in the ocean and somebody's trying to shoot the keg out of the crow's nest? Like, are these shots? There's a chance that, a high percentage of these shots are not going to hit because maybe the wave is pivoting or the ocean is pivoting at a certain point, and the bottom of that crow's nest goes up slightly, blocks the bullet.
That's a good one.
So
because me and my crew, we do that a lot actually. Shooting
a lot of people do that
from
crow's nest, and that should be part of the game, and it should be. And so if they did indeed block that, they need to remove that. I think there's certain places where there should be no wall, like that are obvious, like steps, and maybe certain, and grates, and then maybe certain railing areas of a ship, and the crow's nest needs to be able to wall bang through the crow's nest.
Yeah.
That needs to be, if they took that out, that needs to be re-put in the game.
Yeah, we need to test it. Like I think you cannot do it anymore, but we need to test it for sure. But that's a good point you're bringing. Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as, the people that did wall bang were obviously, I mean, that's hard to anticipate.
Yeah, if you want to be good at
movement.
it. Yeah,
like something that was a lot of
that's
skill.
the entire point, right? Because it takes time to get good at it, right? It's not a skill you automatically have. You need to work on it. And now a lot of people worked on that, and now they removed it, so they feel like, oh shit,
it almost feels like
casuals, and we feel left behind, right?
Yeah,
that's the main argument why people are mad about this.
Yeah, I think if they really,
which I feel I understand that completely.
Yes, I do too. And if I feel they really want to get realistic, I think like the blunderbuss shouldn't wall bang, but the sniper should, right?
Yes, that's a good one.
And then things that they should.
That's a great idea, because people always thought about how the Eye of Reach is a bit weak now, especially since the beginning of the game, if you compared how it was then. But if you make it the option that
can wall bang.
Weapon can wall bang, that's a great addition. So you don't need to adjust the damage output, but you can solve it by doing that. That's a great one. That's good, man. Uni.
Yeah, and then maybe like certain objects, like obviously a mast, you shouldn't be able to wall bang through a mast. Like that's just in realistic games, it's just way too thick. And then some people are like, well, you can't really go through a plank of wood too, but whatever. And then the one that 100% should have been removed is the sword slash. Should not go through the wall. I mean, that's just that just shouldn't happen.
Yeah, big sense.
But it also, I think it affected skull forts, because there was a strategy back in the day. The strategy back in the day of the skull fort was to funnel all the skeletons to the front entrance, and you just
the door
slash through the wall.
The door strat.
I think that's gone now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there are other strategies now that are more preferable than door strats, so people don't really use that.
Yeah,
anymore.
but that was the original.
Yeah,
clear the fort in 10-minute strategy.
Yeah, indeed. I've always doing now it's more, a lot of people are using fire now, right? Since fire is really handy to clear forts. We feel it's a shame. I don't think they should have done it. It's nice for the super casual players, of course, like but not for the ones who are playing and develop those skills. Another thing they add, which nobody can complain about, at least I hope so, is the addition of a single analog stick control. This includes also the center camera options, which is really nice because they written down in the British English way, like center CENTRE, which I like. Makes it
just not real English, British. By the way.
Well, it kind of is. It kind of is. It's proper English.
Not how you spell in America.
that's how I when I learned English at elementary and at high school. We learned British English because they teach us proper English, not American English. So there you go. But mine's a mixed mess, of course, because of all the media I consume. But yeah, how do you feel about that? The single analog stick controls.
Yeah, anything. No, they should do more of that kind of stuff to accommodate everybody.
Yes. Like it's a very small percentage of players, but that small percentage is really happy with this. I can imagine.
Yeah. So there are some games, like, because when I play on a controller, I play Southpaw. And there are, like, a long time ago, there were a lot of games where that just wasn't an option in there. And it's just so frustrating. I just don't play the game. It's just simply do not play the game because I can't get a configuration that's comfortable for me.
Do you know which company can learn from this?
No.
Nintendo. Like, they're so bad at making options for their players. Like, I've recently bought a Switch, and there are very limited options for Zelda Breath of the Wild. You cannot even map all your control buttons, right? They have one option to switch A and Y, I think. All right, nice. And that's the only option you get for button mapping instead of Sea of Thieves, where you can map all your buttons the way you want to. So yeah, or so even like I tried to play Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS. It comes with standard controls instead of inverted, and I always play inverted, and I really have a hard time playing the game. I want to play Luigi's Mansion, but it just feels weird to me because I can't invert my camera. So more options. Yeah, I always appreciate it when developers do that, and Rare, they went above and beyond in making it adjustable for everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is awesome, especially with the center camera options too. Like they've already done so much stuff, also with the color blindness and all that stuff.
Yeah,
And now we have this too.
The floating
it's
one
really
though.
amazing.
So there's one caveat with the floating one is the Kraken encounter when it dunks you. You know, you know, it puts you in the water, and then sometimes when it will release you in the water, there have been plenty of times where I've completely had lost orientation and did not know which way was up and end up drowning. But with the auto float, does it just let you float up now and you don't have to do anything in the Kraken encounter?
Yes. Yeah, that's what it does. Yeah.
So that's for me personally. I'll just turn that on during that encounter because.
Yes, but if you're doing a shipwreck and you're just looking around, then you also float up automatically. So it's not always preferable in situations.
Yeah, so I'll just
like I haven't played with it. Let's be clear, I haven't played with it.
For me, it would be beneficial for the Kraken encounter because there have been plenty of times where I've completely lost my orientation and just drowned.
All right. Well, maybe we don't need it, but we can try it out and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Something else they added. Oh, we don't know. Yeah, I added this actually because you wanted this in the podcast, so it's not in the script. But it's not in your script, but it's in my script. And that's emoting. You can select emotes while you're emoting now. So
yeah,
you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, you can now emote. You can, as you're emoting, you can now choose another emote while you don't have to wait for it to be finished, or you don't have to like jump out of it or cancel out of it. You can create a new one afterwards, which is awesome because when I would do content creation, there's some emotes that last for like 2 seconds. And if I want to get a front camera angle shot, I would have to quickly whip the camera in front of the character and then just pray that there was enough time for me to capture this shot. So now you can do a long emote, a continuous emote, set the camera how you want it, and then choose the new emote while the camera's in that position, and then you could capture your shot. So that's huge. That's great, man. That's awesome. Yeah,
I'm happy for you too that we've done this.
I'm pretty much I'm changing Sea of Thieves for everybody.
Guess so. Hey, they might be listening to our podcast.
They might be, but I don't think. I'm still pretty sure Rare doesn't like me. So.
And why do you think that?
Because I didn't win that Christmas competition.
Oh.
But granted, Undead Raccoon, he did a fantastic job. I mean, it was well deserved. But I am a little salty I didn't win.
Yeah, it's a good video. So it's a good video, your Christmas one. What's the name of it again for listeners?
It's just Deck the Halls. I think I probably named it after the actual song, Deck the Halls. And I probably put like Sea of Thieves contest entry or something in the title.
All right, so if you Google Deck the Halls UNIBALL, you'll see that video.
Yeah, and then you can watch like Undead Raccoons and some of the other entries.
And leave a comment who you think is best.
I was really, because I think Undead was surprised too. I think he really thought that mine was going to win, and so I think he was really surprised that he was chosen as the winner as well.
All right,
but hats off. I mean,
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, hats off to everybody though. I mean, everybody did a great job. Obviously,
of course.
It's just if you don't win something, it just sucks that you don't win. So that's why I'm a little bit salty. But they had the latest competition. I know I'm kind of going off topic, but they had that other competition.
I'm trying not to do that actually, because you like today you're really good at going off tangent.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm trying to keep it focused.
You just edit.
Especially since last time. I don't want to have a repeat of last time where it was like 8 hours of podcasting.
Yeah, that's true.
something that everybody can enjoy is the addition of storage crates to skeleton ships. So if you defeat the skeleton ship now, you also get a storage crate, and it contains food, wood, and cannonballs. That's great. However, something that was not in the patch notes, but I discovered out, if you defeat ghost ship battles now, normally you would only get planks and cannonballs. And in my review, I complained about that there wasn't any fruit in it. But now they also added fruit. So if you're doing the ghost ship encounters, either Flameheart or the voyages of the Order of Souls, you will also get fruit now in your storage crate. So if you need to get supplies for your ship, just do those events. Like, you will be stocked for the rest of the day if you do one of those events. So yeah, really great. I'm guessing you feel the same, Uni?
Yeah, I didn't know that they came with fruit now in those. So that's awesome. And that's great. Yeah, that they added a storage crate to the regular skeleton ships.
Well, they changed the loading screen. We talked about that before, so I'm not going to do that. At the skeleton forts, you will now have faster waves. They spawn in faster. So when you hear the horn sound, the skeletons will appear faster, which is obviously also a great addition. We also have a new emissary meter in the bottom left corner, which I don't like, but it's a bit more clear. How do you feel about that?
I don't. They should just kept it. I didn't see what the issue was in the original one.
Indeed, it like aesthetically it was more pleasing because it went well with your health bar meter.
Correct.
And now it just looks ugly again. So I do get it why they did it. Like, it's more clear to read it, but I never had a problem with reading it before. So yeah, it's just another addition that they do it a lot. Like, they add something that they think they need fixing but doesn't need fixing, and this is one of them. My own opinion, of course. And they also added the emissary values, the gold values when you turn in treasure. So for the people who are confused, if you're sailing an emissary flag and you turn in your stuff, in the bottom right corner you can see your gold. So to the left is always the base value, and to the right between brackets is the additional value. So that's what you get for the multiplier. If you add them together, so the sum of those two values is the actual amount of money you are getting. So if people are a bit confused about that system, that's how it works, which I like. It's a nice addition. So how do you feel about that?
It was cool, but it's just confusing.
Yeah, it was a bit confusing in the beginning, but once you figure it out,
I think it's not needed though.
No, it was not really needed. That's true. But it doesn't take away from it. Like, I get it, and I think a lot of people do like this edition, and I don't care. So yeah,
I don't know. I mean, because
the
values are already given, right? The multipliers are already not known. You just do the math.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can figure it out yourself. Like grade 4 is 2 times, and grade 5 is 2.5 times. I think it was. So, but oh well, you can now see it. I don't care. It's fine, I guess. So yeah, that's all the other additions they added, or at least the most known for the ones. If you want to know like the really minor ones, like the audio adjustments and the localization stuff, you can always check out the patch notes on their website. So, as a conclusion, how do we feel about this update?
It's good. I think I was really happy mainly for the emotes. and then
you like the emotes better than the Ashen Lords?
Yeah, there's two aspects of the new fight that I really enjoy with the Ashen Lords is A, the tornado looks amazing, and B, the shroud effect is awesome that they do.
Oh, the ash cloud.
Yeah, that ashen cloud, whatever.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
I think it just looks it's just cool.
Yeah, like at first it wasn't that much of an inconvenience because I could always see where it was, but once you're a bit away from the battle, and you're in an ash cloud, yeah, it is troublesome. So it does add something to the battle.
Yeah, but the emotes. So yeah,
that's good. Mainly the emotes. Yeah. Yeah, I like the emotes too. Now, because you told me that they added the storytelling ones, so I've bought them. So I like that too. I like the event. I like the Ashen Lords. I like the fact that they're that they have some lore behind them and that they're named a bit different. I am a little bit disappointed that there's not really that much to it, like avoiding attacking, nothing more. But I'm having a blast. Please don't get me wrong. I really do enjoy this update. Me and my crew are having a blast with it. So yeah, good job, Rare. Good job.
As
All right.
always.
Yeah, usually. I mean, I don't think people were that happy about the merchant cargo missions, but well.
Ugh, I still need to do those. I just need to dedicate. I need to take like vacation just to do that.
So let's dive into the next segment of the podcast, which is also one of the last segments, but it's also one of the ones that is most fun. I am, of course, talking about the messages in the bottle. In this section of the podcast, we will answer the questions from our own YouTube community. These questions were from the comment section of the previous podcast. So yeah, let's open some bottles. And the first set of questions we're going to discuss are from Gray Waffles. He is a new subscriber to the channel. So, hey, thanks, man. Welcome to the channel. He actually found the podcast. So, it's a subscriber that became a subscriber because of the podcast. So, that's great. Those are my favorite subscribers. If they like the podcast, man, you're good in my book. So, his questions are: should they make it so that barrels, like food barrels, cannon barrels, and wood barrels, rise to the surface when a ship sinks? I'll take this first because I really like the way you think. Yes, they really should make it so. Because I don't typically spawn kill people, but when I need supplies or when they're being dicks, I might. And you see this tactic a lot. People keep on spawn killing other pirates until all the supplies are taken. It's an easy way to get a lot of supplies, but if you make it so that the barrels float up and rise to the surface, well, you don't need to do that anymore. So yeah, that's great. Also, if a ship isn't carrying any treasure and you sink them, you still get a little reward of doing so. Especially when they're carrying fish in their food barrels. You just stole all the fish that then sank to the bottom. You got it all. So yeah, Grey Waffles, I think that's a great addition. What's your opinion on this, Uniball?
Well,
Would you like that?
yeah, I mean, they've talked about this from the beginning. This has been brought
Oh,
to,
did they?
well, this has been brought to Rare's people have been asking for this for a long time.
That's true.
And so Rare knows about this. I think it should be added in the game. It would take away that spawn camping element if things did rise to the surface. I think they should implement it the same way that they're doing with the skeleton ships and ghost ships. Just have a storage crate pop up. I don't believe fish should be included. Cooked meat probably should not be included. I just don't think.
Why not?
I think.
I mean, wouldn't that be great? Still other fish?
Yeah, but
then you get a gold reward of it too.
But you didn't do the fishing.
It's a pirate game. That's the whole point.
Like they could do the bananas could come up, wood planks.
Oh my god.
A fraction should be able to, should come up.
No, it's all or nothing, man. It's
no. Just a percentage. Because you're not, you want to be able to replenish, obviously the idea of these things popping up in these PvE encounters is to, you're going to use supplies and they want you to be able to replenish your supplies because you've used a certain amount. So I think it shouldn't be all or nothing. I think it should be a small percentage so you could get some type of kickback for using stuff. You know what I mean?
Kinda, but I don't agree.
I think it will come to the game. It will. I believe this will come to the game soon, and it will come in the form of like a storage. Actually, it probably should come as a barrel, not a storage crate.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it should be barrels.
It should be
able to pick it up.
Singular barrel with a percentage of the amount of stuff the person had minus meat.
That's so dumb. Like if If it's a percentage of all the fish they caught, well, would be pretty sucky if it didn't include that shadow stormfish, right? But
No, that's
kept
why I
all the
said
ruby
minus
splash
meat.
tails.
It's only going to be a percentage of the fruit.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, still, I don't agree with that. Because when you sink a ship that has a lot of supplies, well, probably those were good players as well. So it must have been a hard fight to get all those supplies. So
Actually,
you should be rewarded for it.
what it should be done, it should just be a set number. They shouldn't even do a percentage. It should just be a set number. You're gonna get or a range. You'll get anywhere between 20 to 30 cannonballs, anywhere between 10 to 20 planks, and anywhere between 10 to 20 food items. And that should be it. That's how it should be done.
It's a pirate game. If those other pirates put the investment in it to I don't know, have 300 planks, and you're able to sink them, you should get those 300 planks. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. Anyways, next question. Do you think? Oh well, to be sure, we do like the addition of having
that should be added.
barrels floating up. So yeah, we do agree on that. Yes. Next question of him. He asks us, do you think they would ever add a title / trading company above Pirate Legend for hitting max level in all 7 trading companies?
I don't know. So here,
you want to take this or should I go first?
Yeah, you go first.
No. That's my basic answer, because they're always changing it, right? So lately they increased the values to 75. I'm sure they're gonna do that in the future. They're gonna do it probably with Hunter Skull and the Sea Dogs. I'm actually counting on it that they're gonna do that. So those requirements to hitting that extra trading company or extra title, they always keep changing. So the value of that title is always changing as well. I do feel by Legends, or when you hit, Athena 20 or whatever it is, you should get a little extra reward for that. But yeah, an entire new company, no. Maybe a title for getting every max level, but still, that's going to change over time, so it's kind of hard to implement that. So yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah, I mean, just maybe Xbox combinations, but yeah, like you said, I mean,
achievement, you mean?
Yeah, achievements.
Yeah, an achievement would be nice. Yeah, no, an achievement would be nice for maxing out everything. But you kind of have it already, right? If you max out one of them, you'll already get an achievement. So, but I know there's been talk about people wanting something above Pirate Legend. And I know Lickless might want that too. I think we touched upon that when we did the controversial topic episode, and I do get it, because especially now, because Pirate Legend is not the same as it was before. Like in the early days when you saw Pirate Legend, you were like, "Oh my God, you have no life," right? That's no, it was a rare occurrence, right? If you saw Pirate Legend, you really wanted to play with them, for them to put down Athena voyages. It was really special if you had a Pirate Legend on your crew. These days, not really, and you can get Athena rep even before you are Pirate Legend now quite easily. So yeah,
like all the new Steam players, they're all already Pirate Legends.
Yeah, I know, and I see it in my comments too. Like people just pushed the game and took them a few weeks to hit PL, and compare that by doing like 6 months of grinding, how it was in the beginning. So yeah, definitely changed. So it would be nice to have a title that's exclusive again. Yeah, not really a personal need, if I'm honest. This next question is, what do you think about the PvP changes in this update, in the Ashen Winds update? So I think he's mainly talking about that skull. We talked a little bit about that before in this podcast. I had some PvP encounters with the skull yet. It is really fun to use in PvE. Obviously, it's really nice to have PvP encounters during the event. It's a bullet sponge, but there's a reason why it's a bullet sponge, because it needs to take a bit of time so other people can join the battle, either with or against you. My preferred way is against me, so we can fight. It's a bit harder now, like you touched on this UNIBALL, because your awareness it's a bit harder to be aware of your surroundings, especially as a solo player in this event. So that's, it is what it is, I guess.
Well, and I think the question was probably, well, I don't know if with the wall banging thing.
Oh,
That was the
maybe
big
he was
stuff.
talking about wall banging
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you heard us about wall banging. It's a shame. I get why people are disappointed. Me personally, I say, why did you change it? We didn't need any change. It's kind of like a little reward for people who put in the little extra effort to put in the skills to do that. So yeah,
There was
that's
some
how I feel about that.
instances where it needs to be removed. Let's be honest. I mean, it doesn't take skill to
I don't know.
slice through your sloop to hit the ladder, right? That's just
Yeah, that's true.
stuff
Again,
like
that's
that
like,
should have been.
but you have that in
100%
all
removed.
other games, right? Like little exploits the players figure out, and then they feel good about themselves, and that's just part of gaming culture. I mean, that's how I look at it. And
Yeah,
some
but
things need to be fixed, of course, but some things, no, just
well,
keep it in.
they
It's
do
like
evaluate.
the sword lunge too, like the sword lunge.
Yeah, but that doesn't
Like that
like.
was not intentional,
I know,
but they kept it in. So I don't know.
but it's not slashing an opponent through a wall at the same time.
Yeah.
It gave a unique
Yeah.
element to the game. It wasn't, the sword lunge. That's a great example of something that was not intended, that really actually fit the game very, very well. But slicing through a wall, that should be removed.
All right.
Sorry, wall slicers.
I'm one of them.
And it really, it confused a lot of people. Call these people hackers,
Yeah.
because you could hear them on the ladder.
That's human nature. Like if you meet an opponent who's really good, it just feels like he's cheating just because he's really good.
But there's probably a lot of people who got reported falsely for doing stuff that was just,
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been called a hacker too. And then but even though I'm an Xbox, right, I can see on an Xbox. So, and I'm not even that good of a player. My crewmates, they have the same thing too. They are really good. Some of my crewmates, like Shadow and Whip, those are absolute gods at the game, and they get called hacker too. But they're just really, really effing good. Those people. Right. Third question. Do you think they will ever add perks for being a pirate legend? For example, extra supplies in a crate at the outpost you spawn in, or something along those lines that isn't exclusively cosmetic. No, they won't. They will never do that because they want the game to be as balanced as possible. So they're never going to give an advantage to a player that another player has not. So they're not going to do that. I do like cosmetic exclusive, of course. Something I've talked about before is having a unique tall tale for being a pirate legend that only pirate legends can play, which should be really feasible right now since we have so many pirate legends. So yeah, I think pirate legends should be rewarded, but not by giving them an advantage over other players. If you're going to do a supply crate at an outpost, I do agree with that, but make it so for all the players. This is also something we're going to touch upon in a future podcast, by the way, but I will talk more about that at the end of this podcast. Anything you want to add, UNIBALL?
As far as perks, I think there should be more perks, but as like you touched on, shouldn't have like an unfair advantage towards other players in the game. But perks such as, obviously the perks of the pirate hideout, I guess, is a quote unquote a perk. But I think there should be more stuff like that for Pirate Legends, where maybe like their own personal hideout, or their own.
I want that. I want
something
it so
like
much.
that.
I want my own pirate cave.
Yeah.
Look at I want a painting of Louise O'Connor in my pirate cave.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And next to all my gold.
That would be neat, and that would have some cool incentives for people to get to Pirate Legend and stuff like that.
But yeah, thanks, Grey Waffles, for your questions. Those were great. He says I really enjoyed the podcast, and he says keep up the good work. So thanks, good sir. Next we go to Deluxer. I mean, why not? He always comments. Fun fact, Deluxer, you were actually my top commenter. I got a notification from YouTube yesterday, so that was Saturday the 1st of August, and they told me that you are my top commenter. So I didn't even know that was a feature in YouTube, but hey, it is, and you are. So do whatever you want with that information. He has some questions for us too. He asks us, what do you and your crew think of the ability to sneak in game, like to crouch, like you do in most FPS shooters? I think it would allow for more different gameplay, sneaks, places to hide, and new things with tall tales. Obviously, Rare would have to change a lot of things around to add it, so that black screens don't happen, load time more because of it, also more actions with the Eye of Reach. I don't really get that sentence, but I do get what you're saying. You would be able to do sneak snipes and things like that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like laying on your belly or something like that. So yeah, what do you think about the abilities to sneak in game?
Crouch needs to be
Uniball?
needed in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
100%.
crouch would be nice to have. Just to make you a little bit small. I'm a fat guy, like it's not gonna work for me. People can see me miles and miles away, which is fine. Like they will tremble with
But that would
fear
just be-
whenever they see Captain
Oh,
Blubber.
yeah. Well, they'll be wondering why this big ball is just rolling on the.
Maybe make it so that if you do crouch, you won't be able to hear your footsteps. You know, like stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be like a big advantage or a big game mechanic. Just being able to crouch is just nice.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good. I think it'll be huge. I think they do need to add it. Like the whole, I don't believe the sneak play was ever in their minds when they created the game. I think they were just talking about, or they just figured, because obviously, like, how are you going to sneak in an open sea pirate game, right? And their vision is just ships come after ships. You can see the ship on the horizon. You get prepared for this battle, blah, 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 right? That was the original vision.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have players like Pace come in and kind of start doing these sneak plays, and now everybody's doing sneak plays, and so now it's
trying to.
Yeah, now it's
so adorable when they try.
Yeah.
I played with one of my crewmates the other day, and this guy was constantly trying to sneak us when we're doing the Ashen Lords event. He was on the island sneaking. At the tournament, he was sneaking. Or we're doing other voyage, we were sneaking. And every time he failed, he put barrels in the outpost, but we always found them, and he never succeeded. Eventually, he gave up and just went to doing his PvE stuff after 4 hours, and then we found him. We stole all his treasure too. So he had a really bad time on the server being with us. But I think it's adorable when they try to do sneaky stuff and fail miserably.
But yeah, but the point of everything is that this is now a viable gameplay option in the game, and I think there should be more options for the players, such as just crouching. I think that would be huge.
I agree. And indeed, if you sneak snipe, the way you phrase it, like laying on your belly or something like that, maybe that will increase your accuracy, not damage or anything like that, but maybe you can more hit your shots with more accuracy. That would be nice. Would be a nice addition. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, maybe sneaking past skeletons.
Oh, that'd be cool. I hate skeletons so much.
Yeah, but then you need to add a lot of more stuff, right? Just making crouching.
Yeah, that's
it's easier to do than making a new sneak mechanic around it. Of course.
If they could just introduce crouching, I think that would bring a very large element to the game. Silent crouching.
Yeah. No, good one, Luxer.
Yeah.
His next question is, this is a hard one for us to answer. What's the best way for Rare to fix hit reg?
They can't.
First when I saw the question, I was like, yes, that's a nice question, because Old Buccaneers is a game developer, by the way.
Yeah.
So I thought, that's a good question for him to answer, because I really want to know. But yeah, he's not on. We are stuck with Uniball, sadly. So Uniball, what do you think? What's the best way for Rare to fix head reg?
There's too many variables involved. Like they could do the best that they can. There's so you're playing on a server. It opens. There's different connections. There are people connecting to this thing, and it's not gonna. You cannot get it 100% perfect. It's just not gonna happen unless everybody played on the same exact internet on this super gigabit Ethernet cord that's connected to everybody. It's just not gonna happen.
you know.
Yeah, and games like Battlefield, they can do it. So why can't Rare?
Can they?
Well, I've played. The last Battlefield I played was Battlefield 3. I never had any problem with it.
But there's a lot of elements involved in
and there's
Thieves.
there's also swimming in that game. There's also swimming in the game, if I remember
but it's not
correctly.
just swimming. I mean, you're on these objects that are constantly moving on the ocean.
Yes.
Right. In Battlefield, you're on ground.
No, you have ships on Battlefield.
But it's not the main.
You have planes and helicopters and tanks, and everything is moving. And you have bullet drop
but
and
the
stuff
land,
like that, and everything works.
The environment is not moving. There are ships, yes. Maybe there are hit reg issues but you're barely on these ships.
Well, it's been a while since I played Battlefield, so I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt in your argument. But like a lot of other games don't have this problem. Like it's a typical Sea of Thieves problem.
No, it's not. No. I think these games, the ocean and Sea of Thieves, no other game has. And so I think
no, that's true. It's pretty unique. But Rare themselves, they felt that one of the main issues was that they actually used two types of engines, like one engine for when you're swimming and another engine when you're not swimming, and those like are really hard to work together, considering hit reg, and that's what the main thing that causes these issues.
Yeah, I mean, and it could be the servers that they're using too.
Well, of course, that goes into.
What are they using? Azure, I think. So I don't think they have their own.
Well, anyways, I'm just a video game enthusiast. I'm not a developer, so it's really hard for me to really answer this. Whenever Old Buck News is back on the podcast, we'll if I remember that question, I'm gonna ask him again too.
He was gonna say the same thing, but they can't.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
No, well, but they said no. Have you seen the news before the update came out? They did a news segment, and Joe Neat was asking the players to let the developers know when they are running into issues with hit reg, so they could fix it. So if you can't fix it, why would you ask? Why would you say that, right?
That's to make you feel
so
better.
Obviously.
That's public relations 101.
Yeah, but it's lying, so that's not.
It's not lying.
Relations.
I mean, they're gonna try to do what they can to optimize it.
Oh my god, I don't know. Well, when the game first came out, I can't remember exactly, but I did not have any hit reg trouble then.
Because the game was
days.
bare bones. There was nothing in the game. Right?
All right.
So there's so many more elements into the game that, you know, the more that they put in the game, the more the hit reg is going to get worse. So and that's what's happening. These things have to compute.
So right. So people are complaining about hit reg. So all right, don't you want any updates? Yeah, I do want updates. Well, don't complain about hit reg anymore. I don't know. It feels like
it's going to be a never-ending cycle.
Maybe. But it's just a fundamental thing for a video game, especially first-person games. Like, make sure it works. Like, for me too. Like, I'm not the best PvPer, but I'm pretty decent. Like, I count my shots. I know how much health a person has when I'm fighting them. I see what fruit they're eating, so I kind of know how much health they have left. And when I shoot a couple of times or slash them and they don't die, that has to do with hit reg, because I like to think that my calculations were good, right? So it kind of throws me off when he doesn't die. So it's really frustrating that this just doesn't work as it should. And you'd think that's a priority for the developers, and probably is, but
it 100% is. And then they have there's developers that every, you know, sprint meeting that they're having, you know, this is probably gets brought up, and then there's a group of developers sitting there saying, shut the bleep up. We know we've optimized this as much as we could. We've looked at every angle. Sorry. That's what's happening every 2 weeks.
But the thing is, like Joe Neat said it in a news segment, so that is something they're working on, and a lot of people took that too as, oh, that's something they're going to fix in this update, the Ashen Winds update. But they didn't. The only thing they did was, considering that was the wall banging thing, and the hit reg is just
No,
as bad or as good as
the main
before.
things that they can fix and address are the ones where the characters were on items like cannons and stuff, and where hit reg was not. So those are the things that they're focusing on.
Those are frustrating
and addressing.
Okay.
And like ladders and stuff like that. But
all right, so it's really hard, but they are working on it. So I have faith in that.
You
like
know,
a lot of
you know
people
what the
think
thing,
they're not, but they are.
They are, okay, so they are, and they will continually work on it to see what they can do. But the thing to solve this all is you just get rid of the hit marker. That solves all of this.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, of course, but
you just get rid of it, because then people don't know. Did I make it? Did I didn't? I don't know.
No,
just get rid of the hit marker.
That's a terrible idea.
No,
that's a terrible idea.
Get rid
That's
of it.
terrible. It's terrible.
It solves it.
Like, oh my god. Like I like UNIBALL, but sometimes no. All right, let's go. Let's go to the next question, because we're kind of going in circles again. He's asking us, what's a popular dance / sign that you would like, or that you would want to see as an emote?
What, something that I would like to see as an emote?
Yeah. Middle finger.
No.
No, I don't want that too. No,
maybe like a backflip.
Oh, backflip. That's interesting. Backflip would be nice.
Oh, and backflip off the crow's nest. That would be cool.
Now a serious answer, because you do your mission, right?
Yeah.
So what would you like to edit?
I don't know. Like, I mean, that's a good question. I really, honestly, I never thought of. So the main thing was just character dialogue that could be utilized. Yeah. Oh, you know what would be a good one is using your actual items in emotes. Like, you know, they already, you know, like guns and stuff. So you can mimic those type of things, and you can get different camera angles of you using your weapons and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that would be sweet.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. And my answer is pretty boring, because I always get the same answer. If it's an emote another character did from their past, I would love it. I would love to see the jiggy dance that Banjo-Kazooie do as an emote. I would like that as an emote. I would probably buy that straight away.
That would be cool. Yeah, if they did, I think they would do stuff like that.
I hope so. I mean, they're not doing those ships anymore, so why not make the jump to the emotes or weapons or something like that? Oh, this one is great. This question is great. If you had to date any character on the seas, who would it be? My answer is Osha. I think she's called Osha from the Order of Souls in the Devil's Roar. I don't know. She's a dark-skinned lady. I would like to date a dark-skinned lady. Never done that before. And she has an amazing voice too, like very exotic. I like that.
Yeah,
too.
she reminds me of from which Pirates of the Caribbean, the second or the third one?
Both the second and the third one.
Oh, she's in both. Yeah.
Calypso.
Yeah.
She reminds me of Calypso.
I think
too.
yeah, she's probably.
Would be nice waking up with that voice. Oh, it would be nice. I would like that. Puts me in the mood in the morning too.
This is a very bizarre question.
I like it actually. I was thinking of doing a Guys Night Out episode for the podcast, where we invite Old Buccaneer, you, Lickerless, Slim Shanty, and maybe other YouTubers, and we just have stuff like that. These questions, like who would you date, who would you marry, and stuff like that. And
which animated character would you like to be romantically involved?
So, but if you were to date any character,
what
would be?
I almost don't want to answer it, but
Brixie, she's cool.
Oh yeah, I'm used to dating crazy girls, so maybe Brixie.
Well, yeah, me both.
Or if you read the latest comic, it was what's her name, Madame Olivia? Is it Olivia? The one in Plunder Outpost?
Yeah, I think what's Plunder Outpost is Olivia. I think
she's the main character in the latest comic.
But she's old, isn't she?
No.
Okay. Well, you're old too. I forgot about that.
But we gotta, she's not old, because the Sea of Thieves world is only like, it's probably 20, 30 years old.
Yeah, but she can be older, right?
But she's
She
not.
doesn't need to be that age.
You read the
All right,
comics?
okay.
She's
No,
not
not
old.
yet. We'll do it. We'll make
She's
a podcast
young.
about it too.
And
All right,
she,
okay,
yeah.
okay. I'll take your word for it. I wouldn't mind dating that one of those tavern ladies too.
Just
The one on Agent Spy Outpost, because she really liked Brixie when she was a kid,
Is it
and I
Tanya?
could be. I can't remember, but we read the novel, and Brixie is really fun in the novel, even though she appears only a handful of times. But wouldn't it be nice to date somebody who also likes the same thing as I like, so we have something in common?
Yeah.
So yeah. So you still haven't answered it, right? Or is Olivia your answer?
No, Briggsy would probably be the answer, to be honest.
All right. All right. There you go. Yeah, you kind of, the luck, so you know that you need to put your answer in the comments too, right? You do realize that. His next question is: if you woke up one day and you were in the game, what would be the first thing that you would do?
Eat a banana.
All right. I would go. I would probably flirt with the tavern lady.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I actually. That's what I would do. Yeah, like if it doesn't work, I still get grog out of it, so I'd be happy either way. I mean, I'm me personally, I'm a flirty guy as well. Like I always flirt, so that's probably the thing I would do when I wake up in the game too. Next question: what's your favorite ship set? Which is not a great one. Mine, obviously. Oh, there are a lot of great ones, like the silver blade one, the inside ship, the pure white one. That's a great one. Or also the Inky Kraken is amazing. But my absolute favorite is the Royal Squirrel ship set, the one from the Pirate Emporium that's themed after Conquest but Verde. Obviously because I like Conquer, but I also really like the ship. Like I really like the regal look of it. I think it's amazing. So and everything fits together perfectly. I also paid money for it. I'm Dutch, so if I paid money for it, I have to like it. So there you go. That's my favorite ship set. How about you, Uniball?
So probably Whaling Barnacle.
Oh yeah.
The figurehead, I think. So my favorite figurehead is the Bone Crusher, and a lot of times I rock a plain boat with Bone Crusher figurehead, cannons, capstan, and wheel. So a plain white boat, brown hull, with Bone Crusher set. But the Whaling Barnacle figurehead to me is one of the most unique figureheads because it extends past the norm. So it almost looks like a skeleton ship. But the actual, I wish I could have that maybe for the Bone Crusher set, to have that kind of that aesthetic of it sticking up, you know, whatever. But whaling it's between the Whaling Barnacle and I don't like the Bone Crusher hull or sails.
All right.
Just the figurehead really.
Nice.
And
That's
the Whaling Barnacle, the blue. And I really love the Whaling Barnacle cannons too. Those are some of my favorite cannons as well.
Those are really nice. Yep. I do like, especially when I'm in sloop, I really like to put in the Whaling Barnacle.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Final question is, do you think with the Ashen Lords update, this is the end of the Tall Tales for the Flameheart story? I really like them, and it's sad to see the Tall Tales go back to being dead again. So I don't really think it's going to be the end of the Flameheart story. I think this is going to be a lot more about Flameheart. We're going to get a lot more Tall Tales about them. They are a bit slow with Tall Tales. We touched on this before. Normally we should be able, this update should be the Tall Tale update, at least, you know, if you look at when they release the past ones. I'm itching for a Tall Tale. It's kind of sad that we don't get a Tall Tale. Do I think we're nearing the end of Flameheart's story? Not at all. I think at least till Christmas we'll be having a blast with Flameheart, which it's also a bit disappointing because I want other stories like mermaids, you know, kind of want that too. But I guess we have to wait for that a little bit. So, what do you think?
No, we're going to Christmas with Flameheart, and we'll have, I mean, at least one more Tall Tale, but it'll be
Yeah, I think Flameheart's storyline is going to go through Christmas, and we'll probably have at least 2 more Tall Tales related to it.
I think the same. We still need to figure out what happened to Cetregim.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be its own tall tale, and probably one after that, focusing more on Flameheart, and maybe we'll get a new event as well. So I think we at least 3 updates will be centered around Flameheart. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Yeah. So thanks for those questions, Luxor. As always, a pleasure answering those. So thanks for that. Our final set of questions comes from Oin Arrow, another regular of the channel, so very much appreciated. He has 3 questions for us. This first one is, would you like to see dialogue given to skeletons and skeleton lords outside of Tall Tales? I feel this could give them some more personality, as basic skeletons could have more feral dialogue and make the lords have more fluent and complex dialogue, make the lords feel less like enemies and more like characters. Man, on Arrow, this is amazing. I've been thinking the same thing, especially with these Ashen Lords. They have their own voice lines. I would really love for those Skeleton Lords to have voice lines too, to have them more, to give them more personality. I don't think it should be for regular skeletons. I think it will drive you insane because we have so many skeletons as enemies, and if you were to hear them talk each and every time, that would be, yeah, not that great. Lore wise, it would make sense that they, the lords have dialogue, since they regain more of their humanity. That's lore given. That's why they're lords and not regular skeletons. So yeah, or even lore wise, that would make sense, like not giving the regular skeletons dialogue. Maybe some grunts, or maybe some little phrases, but nothing too complex. How do you feel about that, UNIBALL?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea, but it's like you said, it might get annoying if every skeleton had it. But no, it's a cool idea, and I think if they had more resources and more time, they would probably do stuff like that.
All right. So next question of Oin Arrow is, what new enemy type would you like to see in the game? I would like to see a rare bat-like enemy that comes out of the night on large islands that swoops at unsuspecting pirates. You go first. I've done the other one first, so you go first.
I like that idea, a bat thing, like an air.
We already have bats in the game, right?
Yeah, but have like a big, like to have like an air type battle would be interesting. But we can do a crab lord too.
There we go with crabs again. Yeah, no, I would like to see new enemy types in general. Like even give us a hammerhead shark. I would be really happy with that. Or just more wildlife, boars or snapping turtles, or even crabs that you could kill for crab meat. And if you think bigger, I would like a sea serpent or something like that, like a new event on the seas that could attack you like a random encounter. So yeah, I'm all down for new enemy types. Like I'm so sick of skeletons. So sick of skeletons.
Yeah, I hate them.
I was already sick in it when the Hungering Deep came out, but like every update is always we get new enemies, but there's just variations on skeletons. So I'm kind of done with that. So yeah, that would be great. And a bat-like enemy, yeah, sure, I would like that too. Yeah, something that comes out the air would be a bit harder to program, but yeah. But definitely sea serpent, definitely snapping turtles, and definitely boars. Yeah, for sure. Anything else you would like to see enemy types wise, except from crabs?
Crabs.
Big crabs.
Big crabs. Like a big land-based battle would be cool.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, we kind of have it now with the Ashen Lords, but still, they're skeletons. Give us something else. All right. The final question is, considering that multiple enemies in Tall Tales wear masks, do you think that masks should be available to pirates outside of costumes?
Don't even bring up masks right now.
Why not? Because
all the Americans
of the
playing the game. Well, I have a God-given right to not wear a mask. You're gonna force me to wear a mask and see if Thieves? Screw this. Yeah, don't even talk about masks.
All right. Now I think I don't know, not really. It's another type they need to program and make it work. I'm happy with the cosmetics we already have. Me personally, nah, not really. Just we have a mask for the Reaper's faction. That's fine for me. I like that. I like the costume, but I don't need mask as a separate cosmetic. But that's just me.
It's gonna bring a huge PR shitstorm.
I don't think so, man.
Well, dude, you don't live in America.
Nope. No, I don't. So yeah, thanks Onaro for those questions and great questions. And for everybody else who's listening to this podcast right now, if you would like us to answer your questions, hey, put it in the comments. We will answer them for sure in the next podcast. Speaking about the next podcast, it's probably gonna be about our wishes for Sea of Thieves, and it's probably gonna be with a new guest, entirely new guest. I'm not gonna tell who it is, but we have an entirely new Sea of Thieves YouTuber, well, new to the podcast. I mean, that's gonna be probably gonna be in the next one. So no promises, but that's probably gonna be the next topic. So if you have your own wishes for Sea of Thieves or own questions about that topic or anything else, please feel free to put it down in the comments. And with that, we've also come to the end of the podcast. So I would like to thank UNIBALL for again being amazing. And can you tell our listeners where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. Search Uniball. I think I'm now the thing that pops up #1 when you search Uniball on YouTube.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah, I know. That's a huge milestone. But yeah, you can catch me on YouTube. You could also do youtube.com/Uniball Gaming. I do have an Instagram and Twitch, but I barely go on. Not Twitch, Twitter. I do have a Twitch, but I barely go on any of those.
All right. Yeah, just check out his YouTube channel. Do yourself a favor. If you're not subscribed to Uniball, what the hell are you doing with your life?
I'm almost at 1,000.
He's almost at 1,000. So let's get Uniball at 1,000. So I myself can be found in this very channel you are listening to this podcast on, obviously. So hey, if you like this podcast and don't want to miss any others, yeah, please subscribe, leave a like, all the good stuff, and please consider staying since we also have some more content for you in our after show. But if you don't feel like that, hey, that's fine too. So thanks again to my amazing guests who really did a solid on me helping me out with this podcast. And I hope you, the listener, will have a great rest of your day. So stay safe, wash your hands, and yeah, take care. Just be amazing. I know you are. All right, see ya.
Bye, everybody.
So we're in the after show now. Usually I grab beer, but I don't feel like drinking beer right now. I'll save that for later.
Good for you. Good for your liver.
Good for me. Yeah, I'm already fat enough as it is. But I blame it on the world situation we're in right now. So I kind of hinted on this before. I'm trying to get another YouTuber on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know who I'm talking about.
Probably.
Yes. So we're trying to figure out that stuff right now and record next weekend.
Cool.
Released a little bit later. Yeah. Would be cool. Have a different voice. I hope my subscribers will like it too. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see for the future. Speaking about the future, do you have any future content planned?
Not really. I mean, so like I'm still in the process of this move, right? And I'm just in a weird position because of moving across the country, the whole pandemic. Yeah. So I haven't really dedicated that much time. Yeah. But for my future, so right now I am gathering clips of stuff where I might just do like a highlight video. I've mentioned this before, I think. Just to put
something out there, right?
Yeah, and just to get back into the flow. But then I mentioned to you yesterday, I kind of want to do a very fully cinematic video.
I'm excited for that.
Nothing like super long, but like I really want to try out some techniques. And then I'm just gonna tag Rare on this. I'm like, give me a spectator cam so I can make this better.
Yes, why not? Care to tell our listeners what your idea is?
Huh?
do you care to tell our listeners what your ID for that video is?
I guess I care. Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, all I want to just devolve, is that the right word? Is that just a very cinematic experience in Sea of Thieves, like a storyline, you know.
Oh, you're talking about the big project now?
Not the big project, no.
Okay.
The next project, which would be a stepping stone to a big project.
Right. Okay.
Well, no, but it's already. Or you're talking about, you know, Licorice has already mentioned it. Like we wanted to make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
A Sea of Thieves, and then, you know, and I think it'll be more and more possible with the emotes that they have added. You just need the editing has to be on point.
Of course.
And of course the story as well. But if they, you know, with custom servers, with the emotes, and with a spectator cam, rare, that it will be possible. It'll take a long time, but I want to do these cinematic videos in between to kind of practice on doing this. But obviously without custom servers, I have to do it on live servers, which is tough. You already know, we've already done it on a couple.
Yes,
and
it has a fun element too, but if for you it's very frustrating, I can guess.
Yeah,
always getting the right clips.
And so as of right now, so Joni, you know, Rare has already, you know, Joni has already said that the custom servers right now are just bare bone. It's just gonna be an exact copy of a normal server, with your ability to, you probably have like a seed or something where give players the ability to enter your custom server with different boats, etc. But as far as anything else, that's it. That's what they have told us so far.
That's what I've heard too. Yeah.
So we need that spectator cam, because I mean their main thing for these custom servers is for community events, right? So they're gonna need that spectator cam for, you know, people when they're hosting this or they're putting these events on Twitch, that the, you know, the announcers can utilize in the event itself, which will be awesome. What I don't think that I mean, I do know that they're gearing this towards machinimas as well, but I mean, this would be 100% needed for machinima makers. But I do believe that there would be a small minority of people using custom servers the way that I would be using, and Liquorless would be using, Falcor would be using. I think the majority of the custom servers will be used for events, community stuff.
I mean, I hope we get some tools with that for sure.
I do too. I think I will eventually be recognized by Rare, because I'll probably be one of the very few people that's actually paying for this monthly.
Well,
so they'll know exactly who I am.
We can hope that Old Buccaneer will get to 20K, and then he can
become a partner. Yeah, we got an insider. Yeah. We'll have our own insider, Rare.
That's the only reason why I befriend Old Buccaneer, because he's bigger than I am. So that's my way in.
That's our insider.
I'm gonna ask Old Buccaneer to ask Louise O'Connor to come on the podcast. That's my goal all along. And after that, my life's complete and I can die happily. And then I'll quit my YouTube career too. Like I would never be able to top that.
But as far as future content for me is, maybe I do a highlight thing just to get back in the groove, because it's been over a month since I've put out a video, and then I've gotten to the point where that's just how it's gonna be. I'm just gonna put out quality over quantity, and I hope people that subscribe to me know that, and that when I do put out a video, they're like, all right, sweet, you know, they can sit back and watch it, you know.
It sucks, right? I've told you, we talked about this yesterday when we were playing about the YouTube algorithm. That if you don't upload, especially if you're a small YouTuber, if you don't upload frequently, you just don't get pushed in there. Yeah, so your videos are going to be extremely hard to find. You can make them like you make them really great, but they just don't get pushed enough because you don't upload that frequently, and this just sucks. Sucks.
But I'm gonna see if I can break the norm.
I hope so. I mean, once you're there, it's great. Like once you said it's good, and you will get subscribers because they will appreciate that extra effort, even if they, well, most of them don't know how hard editing is, but they can see that that content is more appealing to them, so that you will obviously get some subscribers that way.
Yeah.
So they'll appreciate it either way. So that's good.
And some people get it like Pixel, Absolute Pixel. I mean, he uploads like once a month, basically, but he's grown a lot. Like he's at like 80-something thousand, I think.
Yes.
Like he went from 30 to 40.
But he's really good.
Well, yeah, I mean, because dude's been editing for a long time.
He has everything. Well, he's not that great of a player, but he's decent enough. He has great humor, and his editing is insane.
Yeah, he's good. He has a lot of experience.
Yes. And I checked it out, but he took a while to get. You said he exploded, but he only exploded off Sea of Thieves. Have you looked at his past content? He's on YouTube for a very long time.
Yeah.
And he's been posting out. I've watched a lot of his older videos, and they have not a lot of views. So it only after years and years and years that he finally exploded thanks to Sea of Thieves. So it took him a while too.
Yeah, but he's been growing quickly. Like a lot of these guys are growing very fast. Fuzzy, Hippo, like the growth is becoming.
Falcor too. Falcor
because Cynical. He's growing.
Now he's Cynical too. But
yeah,
Falcor
he's at
is now
over 40K.
Known as Captain Falcor. True. Well, I don't know, but Falcor is known as Captain Falcor. I think his channel is Captain Falcor.
It is.
Before
he changed
that,
it to Captain Falcor.
Yes, before it was Falcor Gaming, and it was a variety show.
Yeah.
He did any game, and when he started doing Sea of Thieves, it was just Falcor Gaming, just playing Sea of Thieves. He didn't even know he was gonna devote that much time to it. He was like, I kind of like it. Those are his first videos about Sea of Thieves, but those exploded, and then he was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna Sea of Thieves content creator now.
He's the number one YouTube.
And he just went with it.
Yeah.
Huh?
He's the number one YouTube content creator for Sea of Thieves.
He is for Sea of Thieves, and rightfully so. I mean, even though I'm not that big of a fan of Falcor, I do really appreciate what he's done. But plus, he's still enthusiastic about it, right?
Yeah, and I mean, he's a grinder. I mean, he's put in the work. You have to appreciate.
Yeah, he puts in the work.
He's put in the work.
I do, and you see it with other Sea of Thieves YouTube creators who are bigger now. They again, not going to go doing names and all this stuff. We won't never do that, but they feel a bit more burned out, and Falcor still has that same enthusiastic feeling.
True. Yeah.
So that's really nice. And I mean, even though I don't, his content is not from me, I do really appreciate the guy for what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's why he stands out, because he's pretty original in a lot of his stuff.
That's true. I even though he can maybe do some more research and not be that speculative, but oh well. Speaking about future content, I'm going to start writing my script for my Heritage Ship video. So I've talked about this a lot, that I want to do this, but it always get pushed back. Like, I don't know how it's, well, you have a different way of making content, but I try to upload every week.
Yeah.
And I've always got my podcast planned. I always got my Sea of Glitches, planned. And then always my update reviews. So and that's all. That's already an entire month, right? And those videos are always planned. My subscribers always get those, and that's written on my end. But every time I need to make another video, that's a big video editing wise, it always takes a lot of time to get that going.
Yeah.
So it's the same with this Heritage Ship video. So I started writing a script. No promises when it will be finished, but it's one of the videos I'm working on. One of the bigger videos I'm working on right now.
Cool.
So yeah, because I'm also going to do deep dive. Well, not deep dive. I'm also going to show gameplay clips of all the games that certain ship was based on. So it's going to be a long video. It's not going to be, oh, here's a ship and the cannons. No. It's going to be a proper.
That'd be cool, because that'll give people a good perspective of where these. I hope so. From.
I'm also a bit nervous about that.
Because you're probably gonna screw it up. Jeez.
No, well, all Buccaneer says, because that's my unique one, right? Because I know a lot about Rare.
Yeah.
But and that's true. That's unique about me. I know a lot about Rare and I like Sea of Thieves, so that's my content. However, most of my subscribers, they don't give a shit about the past Rare games.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if how well that video is gonna do.
Well, here's the thing though, right? And
yeah,
you know, you should always do stuff that you like to do. The passion will shine through, and that's, you know, the people are watching
that's what I'm hoping
YouTubers for personalities, you know, and then
Mhm.
and the ones that will end up burning and dying out are the ones that are just not original and not passionate.
Yep.
And, you know, so
but yeah, this is completely right, because that's the goal, right? Because it's a hobby.
yeah.
And the most important thing about this hobby, it needs to be fun. So every video I make, I mean, the editing itself, that's so much fun for me. So yeah, that's just, as long as it's fun, it's great.
Yeah.
And I'm never gonna do a video just to get views, or because that subject is, I'm never gonna do that. So you never know, I might sell out like other content creators, not gonna name names. You never know, but I try not to do that. I'm gonna keep it, what do you call it? Legit? No. Genuine, authentic.
Fun.
That's the word I'm looking for. Fun and authentic. That's the content I'm gonna do.
Yeah, actually, I made it. I started to do a video. It was right after the Christmas update, and I edited like 3 or 4 minutes of it, and this was gonna be one of my next videos, and then I just completely stopped it. And I was rewatching the other day. I was like, man, this is trash. Like it was not fun editing this particular video, and I just completely scrapped it. And shortly after that, I did my Machinima series.
Oh yeah.
But it was a really good one. It was me and Slim, and we were doing up all the gifts for the Christmas thing, and we met this nice crew on the brig, and we got, there was a lot of PvP involved with another, I don't know. It was a good session. But
nice.
Yeah, I scrapped the video.
Hey, do you want to talk about something non-video game related?
Nope.
Fuck off.
Like what?
Like, it's in the script.
The Aftershow script?
Yes, the Aftershow script, indeed.
Perseverance launch?
Yes!
I don't know what that is.
Have you followed it? They launched another robot to Mars.
Oh, is it a Chinese?
No, not Chinese. USA.
Aren't they having trouble with it right now?
A new rover.
Didn't they lose contact?
Well, there were some communication issues, but that was to be expected, because they're doing a deep space communication system, but that only works when it's actually in deep space, and it's in deep space, but not deep enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't get that. It should
at
work
least that's the gist of it.
It should work at shallow space too. If it's gonna work deep space, it should work. I mean, the logic doesn't make sense there.
Well, it kind of does, because they have certain instrumentation to detect certain signals, and depends on the distance how well those signals get noticed. So, but it is all, it's not a fault, it's not a failure, it's not a disaster. It's all expected, and actually the launch went perfectly. The trajectory is fine. It's probably going to be a couple of weeks before they need to make the first adjustment in their way to Mars, because it's all planned, like the little adjustments they need to do to get it there safely. And the date is set, I think, somewhere in January or February that it's going to launch, going to land. It's going to bring back soul samplers. Well, the first step of bringing soul samplers from Mars.
This is actually bringing stuff back. Yes. So that's why it's significant.
Kinda. So the thing is, like, everybody knows Curiosity, right? A really famous rover. So everybody knows that one. So, but that only did, camera stuff and just, research that it could do there. Perseverance actually is going to do the first step of bringing soil back. So what they're going to do is going to drill holes in the ground there, take soil samples and kind of like poop them out. And another rover that's going to be going to Mars later, another rover is going to pick those soil samples up and launch them into space, and then another vehicle. Well, then they're gonna bring those soul samples in orbit, and another vehicle is gonna take that spaceship, and then they're gonna launch back to Earth again. So that's a whole. It's gonna be a long process. Like it's gonna be years and years before the soul samples are on Earth again. But yeah, so Perseverance is gonna be the first step of that whole expedition. Perseverance also brings a helicopter to Mars, so it's gonna be the first flight on another planet for that we ever did. So it's really exciting.
USA
and also
USA.
Yeah, US. I always see this as us as a human species doing that stuff, but it is USA. Yeah. So yeah, no, the first helicopter on another planet is gonna be it's gonna go in the history books as a American helicopter. Because it's also really interesting because the atmosphere on Mars is like a tenth.
It's gonna be
No,
different.
sorry, 100th.
So will it
yeah, it's
actually
about
fly,
100
yeah.
on what it is on the. Yeah, so they built a special type of helicopter that has a lot of rotations per second, a crazy amount, so it's able to lift
A bumblebee
up. So,
helicopter.
yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, kind of like
Defies
that.
physics.
And no, it doesn't. It's all about physics. It's because we have knowledge about physics that we can do all this stuff. And then we also have the microphone. There's a microphone on it too. For the first time, we'll be able to hear Mars, which is all really exciting. And they also have a little module that is converting the air of Mars into oxygen. But that's mainly, testing stuff out before, so they get some information, so we can actually have an oxygen machine on Mars when humans are gonna land on Mars in the future. So that's just a
So how do they
pre-mission?
Yeah. Okay, so they're gonna try to create oxygen from
CO2. Yeah, that's on Mars in the atmosphere.
And they're gonna plant potatoes.
Yes, because potatoes are If you want to, Have you seen The Martian?
Of course.
Yeah. So potatoes are actually you can grow potatoes on Mars if you know how. Yeah.
If you got a Martian cook.
So yeah.
Or Martian farmer. Yeah.
So, I was just really excited for that.
No,
I like
cool.
space exploration.
Yeah, so do I.
So that's why I put it in the other show. Nice, cool. Oh, and my name is on it.
Your name is on
important stuff.
the Perseverance?
My name is on it, not on a USB stick or anything stupid like that. No, my name is physically engraved on the Mars rover, like my real name.
Along with how many other people?
Well, millions, but it's there.
How small?
Really small. They done it with a nano laser. So and they have like 4 squares that are about the size of like a big stamp.
Mm-hmm.
And my name, and along with hundreds and thousands of other names are engraved on that with a nano laser. So yeah, in what was it, January or February, a part of me will land on Mars as well. So yeah. And if you're interested for that, like the next mission is going to be in 2 or 4 years, I think. So if you want your name on the next rover, you can do so. You can go to NASA and you can.
You just painted a target on your back for aliens.
Well.
We know who to fight first.
If they can pronounce my name, like Americans have trouble pronouncing my name, so. But yeah, so I wanted to mention that real quick too.
That's pretty cool.
Like it's not video game related, but it's the Aftershow, so
So an electron beam to stencil the submitted names onto a silicon chip with lines of text smaller than 1/1000th the width of a human hair. Holy crap!
All right, there you go.
75 nanometers. At that size, more than 1 million names can be written on a single dime-sized chip. Interesting.
Aye, indeed. So yeah. Anything else you want to add to the after show?
No, I think that was interesting. The
Perseverance launch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be like it's a bit nail biting. I watched the live launch. It went really good, like as perfect as it could be. And you can only do it once every 2 years, right? Because the plans need to be in the right order. Not the right order, the right orbital distance to launch it. So you can only do that. If you want to do a Mars mission, you can only do it every 2 years.
Well, to get what, like the
'Cause the
shortest distance.
Yeah, the planets need to be at the same side of the sun to do so.
To have like a 7th month flight time.
So yeah, 6.5 months, I think. Yeah. And the moon is 3 days, anyways. But I can talk astrophysics for hours and hours, but I won't. Yeah, let's give it a wrap. So hey, if people are still listening, again, I say it every time, but I do really mean it. If you listen to us ramble in the after show, you're great. I love you in a non-romantical way.
That's a lie.
Thanks for doing that's fuck you. That's I really fuck off. I want to do something. I want to say something nice to the people.
You are
listening.
saying something nice.
But you're ruining it.
That's
you're
not
ruining
right.
it.
This is making it better.
All right. So if you're still fuck off. If you're still listening, thanks. I appreciate it. I really do. So yeah, have a good day. I hope you all have a good day. Yes, that's what I just said. All right. I'm rambling now. Thanks again, and take care.
Take care.